started, you always have to believe, you always have to go with that aim to win. You never go into a competition trying to come second or third or fourth, you know. I still believe we have a long way to go, a lot of hard work to do, but it's good. That's what you want the fans to believe, because it helps us, you know. We obviously have a job to do, and we're trying to do it to the best of our ability, and so far so good.
The England Insider on TalkSport with Direct Line, de facto 5-star rated van insurance that keeps up with your world.
Yeah, the England Insider specifically being TalkSport's Nigel Adderley, who you heard there talking to the England captain Harry Kane. Now, I am not in any way, shape or form criticising the man who leads the race for the Golden Boot in the World Cup. Just want to ask, first of all, Eni Aluko. I watched Kane playing week in, week out for Tottenham in a 4-2-3-1, and you know he links with particularly with Christian Eriksen and Dele Alli in a particular way. Eni, are you? I mean, he's getting the goals, which is his prime mission in life in his England team. Is Harry getting involved in the play enough? Is he linking up enough with Raheem Sterling, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think from what I've seen in both Tunisia and Panama games, he's getting involved in the play. He's staying high in the play. I think sometimes forwards come a bit too deep to try and get involved. I think Harry Kane is constantly a threat to the back line and playing high up, particularly in the 3-5-2 where you do need a target. So I think, but the main thing is he's getting in the right positions to score goals. He's sniffing out, you know, the two goals. The two goals against Tunisia in the first game, it's just right place, right time. You know, just striker's instinct. The last one in the 91st minute, striker's instinct, just that instinct to know where the ball's going to drop. I would much rather that than him playing pretty football, linking up and not scoring any goals. So I think Harry Kane all round has been brilliant, and his penalties yesterday, I mean, I don't think you can see better penalties than that. Just emphatic.
That's how you take a penalty, Danny.
Just unbelievable.
Well,
and he was almost like a carbon copy of the second one.
During the 2002 World Cup, Matt, I did a thing on the BBC on the television about scientifically what are the penalties that are unstoppable. And if you, I mean, I'd call it the Alan Shearer penalty. If you hit the top metre of the angle of crossbar and post, no goalkeeper alive can stop them. You physically can't get from the centre of the goal to that height and across in order to stop them. So they were absolutely brilliant penalties, Matt. And as an expert, I'm glad to see that you approve of them. Which takes me, Matt, to the next subject. England, of course, lots and lots of positives. You'd be a fool to say otherwise. What about Raheem Sterling? Now, of course, he's been at the centre of non-footballing stories. Many of them, I think, absolutely unnecessary. But on the pitch, I guess I'd put it this way. If you wanted to put a cherry on England's wonderful 6-1 cake, it would have been a goal for Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, actually, because before the tournament started, you just said that Dele Alli, Raheem Sterling were absolute certainties to play. Now, Dele Alli's picked up an injury in that first game, missed the second one. Sterling hasn't played particularly well in the opening two games, and his place is under threat. And you've got someone like Lingard who's playing in that number 10 position, playing really well, getting involved in the play, making those runs in behind Harry Kane, has been excellent for England. You've got Loftus-Cheek that's come in and done a good job when he's got his chance. So all of a sudden, Dele Alli and Raheem Sterling aren't guaranteed to start as this competition progresses. So that's a good thing from England's point of view. You know, Gareth Southgate said he's got 23 players there that he trusts and believes in, and if he has to call up any of them, he won't have any problem in doing so. And I think you have to be ruthless as a manager. I was at the Germany game the other day, and Mesut Ozil was left out. Now, he had a poor game in the first game. A lot of people were saying he should have kept his place. He didn't. Germany went on to win it, and I thought they actually deserved to win against Sweden. I know they left it late with that Toni Kroos goal, but I think sometimes you have to be brave enough as a manager to make those calls, and it doesn't matter how big a player they are, how big a name they are, what they've done in the season. He's played 2 games now. He hasn't played particularly well, so maybe Gareth Southgate will make that call for the Belgium game.
I tell you, if
I
go, please, Annie, go on.
Sorry.
No, you're welcome. Speaking.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I'm a big Raheem Sterling fan. I've been banging down the door for the last few days, hoping that he would start yesterday, because obviously there was a bit of talk that he wouldn't start the game. But I think, you know, I was at the game yesterday, and for me, Raheem Sterling was poor, and that's me saying it as a Raheem Sterling fan.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there at World Cups where you play the first game. You know, I remember 2011 World Cup in Germany. I started the first game against Mexico and missed some chances I should have scored. The next game I played again, and I was thinking so much about the chances I missed, and then I wasn't putting myself in the positions to score. And then I got dropped for the last game, and then it reminded me, watching Raheem yesterday, it reminded me a bit of that, because I just feel he's not putting himself in good positions because he's too scared to fail, and his body language just looks as if it's getting on top of him. I may be wrong, but to me that's what it looked like. So I think I think it will be wise for Gareth Southgate to change it, and for Raheem to sit the bench and probably Ali come in and support Kane.
Okay, well, listen, obviously the England manager, Gareth Southgate, says he has faith in all his players. The previous England manager, I think it's fair to say, doesn't have the same faith that certainly Enioluco has in Raheem Sterling, because on the Sports Breakfast this morning here on Talk Sports, Sam Allardyce, previous England manager, was on, and he was saying that overall Raheem Sterling just hasn't delivered in an England shirt.
Obviously Raheem hasn't delivered what we know he can deliver, and certainly what he know he's delivered at Manchester City. But for 2 games, unfortunately for him, it hasn't quite shone as much as he has at Manchester City. And I think Jesse Lingard's come through his spell. He didn't do quite as well as Tunisia as I expected, and so you've got to say, why not?
Yeah, that's one of the issues I think people look at. And I was very interested in what you were saying about perhaps Rose coming in for Young for the game against Belgium. Nothing, there's been no problem with the Manchester United winger turned wing back. But Matt Holland, I still slightly, it grieves me a little bit when Maguire is right-footed, Young is right-footed, to have no natural left foot on that side of the England team. In a perfect world, you wouldn't have that, would you?
No, I take your point. I just think that Danny Rose's fitness levels aren't quite there either. I think that's the reason why Gareth Southgate has persisted with Ashley Young in that position more than anything. I think he's obviously it would be more natural to have Danny Rose as the left wing back. But I think when you're playing in that system, the way that England are, with bodies centrally, those 2 wing backs have got an awful lot of work to do, Ashley Young and Kieran Trippier, and you have to be at your absolute best fitness-wise to play in that position now. That is the only reason I can see that Ashley Young is playing ahead of Danny Rose right now.
And I make you right. Danny 18 months ago was an absolute monster physically, and he hasn't, because of his injury and his recovery, and I'm not the expert here, I'm not the medical person, he hasn't quite attained the physical condition I think I saw him in, as I say, 14 to 18 months ago. If you would give Sterling a rest, and perhaps Dyer a go in central midfield, any other change you'd make for the Belgian game then?
Yeah, like I said, I think I'd bring in Danny Rose. I appreciate, his fitness levels might not be there, but for me, I'd bring in Danny Rose for set pieces. I know Trippier's taking set pieces at the moment, but I think being good at set pieces for me is a bit of a gift and a curse, because England have scored, half of their goals from set pieces. But Belgium now will be looking and thinking, yeah, England score a lot of goals from set pieces, so they'll be prepared to defend against set pieces. So sometimes you've got to mix it up, and England have got to go again and sort of change their set pieces so they don't become predictable. So the best way to do that is perhaps put a left footer on, so you've got an in-swinging or out-swinging from a different side. And obviously, play Rose, because he may be needed in later rounds. So that's one of the obvious changes I would bring in, but particularly don't change the back 3 is my hunch.
Okay, well, listen, thank you very much, both of you, for that. And let me just tell you that what we'll do when we come back is have a look at England's 3 possible opponents in the round of 16. I'll also be bringing you some team news for the other Group A game that's happening at 3 o'clock between Saudi Arabia and Egypt. And the Egypt team sheet has dropped early, perhaps to prepare us for not 1, but 2 slight bombshells. I'll tell you about those very, very soon, right here on World Cup Live with Matt Holland, Enioluco, and me, Danny Kelly, on TalkSport.
The World Cup, the biggest stage for upsets, passion and opportunity. Your gut says to take advantage of every game. and your smarts say where to go. Because Betfair have had the best odds on the World Cup, so you always get the most from your bet. Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts.
Data provided by TX Odds and BetRadar, based on Betfair Sportsbook average match odds over round since 12th of March 2018. Full terms at betfair.com, 18+, begambleaware.org.
Russia 2018 on TalkSport with Just Eat, the app that takes off lackluster cooking and brings on a belting takeaway. Audios tonight and you could win an astonishing 2018 football plate. Like this one. Just Eat. Put it on a plate.
At Boots Opticians, we're here to help you discover a stylish new look for less. We've got thousands of frames to choose from, so speak to us and together we'll find the perfect pair for you. In fact, with 2 pairs from £75, why stop at just 1? Book in store or at boots.com. Boots, let's feel good. 2 for £75 on Boots £50 glasses as part of our half-price additional pairs offer. Both pairs must be bought for the same customer in the same transaction, subject to availability. See in store.
All the football from Russia on TalkSport with Virgin Media, broadcast partner of TalkSport's official coverage of the 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia.
For everyone who wants more from their Wi-Fi, for everyone who wants to binge-watch box sets all day long, for everyone who's been stung by unexpected broadband price hikes, TalkTalk has your back. Because our faster fibre comes with our promise of no mid-contract price rises and includes our all-new Wi-Fi hub. With our fastest, strongest, most reliable signal yet. All for just £25.50 a month for 18 months. Search TalkTalk Fibre. TalkTalk for everyone. £30 setup fee, contracts and conditions apply.
You know what makes your business great. Make sure everybody else does too, with the perfect bespoke business card from Vistaprint. Now with more shapes, paper stocks and finishes to choose from, and help available from Vistaprint's professional designers, you can create a card that's just right for you. Promote what makes your business great with business cards from Vistaprint. Enter code RADIO at vistaprint.co.uk and get 250 standard business cards for just $9.99. Delivery from $2.99, business price excluding VAT at 20%.
Summer's here. Don't miss a drop. Get outdoors with the Land Rover Summer Sales event from the 6th to the 8th of July. Enjoy 15% off all accessories and an additional £1,500 deposit contribution with 5.9% APR representative PCP finance. Search Land Rover Sales Event. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Selected models only. Credit subject to status. UK 18+ only. Terms and conditions apply. Black Horse Limited trading as Land Rover Financial Services. 15% off all accessories. Purchased alongside a vehicle between the 6th and 8th of July 2018. Subject to availability. At participating retailers only.
Are you seeing this? If I bet £5 on any Bet Your Way market on the England game, Betway will give me a £5 free bet. With Bet Your Way, you can combine anything you like. Cards, corners, goal scorers and... And here I was thinking the World Cup couldn't get any better. A £5 free bet.
Betway, for the love of the game. Single bet at odds of evens or over. 18+. T's and C's apply. BeGambleAware.org.
Beer, pizza, football, marvellous.
Right now, Co-op Super Saver deal is any 2 Co-op Thin and Crispy Margarita or Pepperoni pizzas plus a 4-pack of Budweiser bottles for just £5.
And I'm wearing my lucky shirt.
Oh, great. The one you were wearing last time we lost.
Subject to availability. 5 deals per customer. See Co-op stores for details.
Goal! What a strike, Cammy. Keeper, no chance. Surely that's the winner. Did you see that, Cammy? Cammy?
What goal, Jeff? I must have missed, sir. I was chatting with the delivery man. Keep calm and Cammy on. The biggest winner is our Papa John's large pizza with 2 sides, only $18.99. Unbelievable deal.
Minimum spend, participating stores, exclusions apply.
TalkSport Traffic and Travel with Virgin Media. Home to the full house bundle with BT Sport included as standard. Search Virgin Media Football. Terms apply.
It's busy in Manchester along the M66 southbound from Junction 3 to 4 for Sinister Island as the lane is closed for barrier repairs. Moving into West Yorkshire as an earlier breakdown means it is still rather busy on the M1 heading northbound at Junction 42 for Loft House. Now sticking with the M1 northbound but in South Yorkshire, it's very heavy there between Junctions 32 and 33 for Sheffield. It's after a medical investigation was taking place. And the M5 in Bristol, that's slow southbound from Junction 19 to 20 because of an accident. I'm Hannah Trinder.
Football, which will grab you by the Euros.
Everything for the football, everything for the victory.
World Cup, live.
Power to the peoples.
On TalkSport.
Yeah, you're listening to World Cup Live. We continue our build-up to the 3 o'clock kickoff between Uruguay and Russia in Samara. Matt Holland and Ennio Luco alongside me, Danny Kelly. Let me just give you that piece of team news. It's broken rather early, and I think there's probably two reasons for it. In the other Group A game, the dead rubber between Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Egypt have announced their team a half an hour ahead of the time when they would have wanted to. Two huge stories here. One, Mohamed Salah, who sustained that shoulder injury in the Champions League final, does not start. Clearly unfit, he does not start for Egypt. They've also dropped their goalkeeper, Mohamed El Shanawi, and he's been replaced by SM El Hadari. And you might wonder why that's of interest. Well, El Hadari, at 45 years and 5 months of age, becomes the oldest player ever to take part in a World Cup finals match. So SM El Hadari, at 45 and a half years of age, will take the field and play in goal for Egypt in that game against Saudi Arabia. That game, of course, is live for you over on TalkSport 2, but you will not be hearing about Mohamed Salah playing for Egypt. He has been left out of their team. Right now, let's get a World Cup update on a plate with Just Eat.
Update on a plate on TalkSport with Just Eat. Give cooking the red card and audio takeaway tonight. Just Eat. Put it on a plate.
Well, we know now that whatever happens between England and Belgium, they will play in the last 16, one of Senegal, Japan or Colombia. But after last night, would you really want it to be Colombia?
Quintero lining up a shot for Colombia. It was a cleverly disguised one, actually. Rodriguez with a cross, and Mina up from the back gives Colombia the lead. 6 minutes before half-time. Poland caught napping in a set piece. It was cleverly worked by Colombia, and Poland, as it stands, will be going home. Mina the goal scorer. Poland 0, Colombia 1. Attacking down the right with Arias. Oh, lovely ball through for Falcao. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and Falcao scores his first ever World Cup goal to surely seal Poland's elimination from this 2018 competition. It was beautifully worked again by Colombia. Quintero with a pass that split the Polish back line, and when he got the opportunity, Falcao wasn't going to pass it up. Poland 0, Colombia 2. They found Cuadrado. He's in between the back line of Poland. 1-on-1 with the keeper into the corner, and it's curtains for Poland now, all right. Juan Cuadrado makes it 3-0 to Colombia. They just couldn't handle the pace of the former Chelsea man, and when he saw the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes, he found the corner. Poland 0, Colombia 3.
Fantastic by Colombia. Let me just tell you, of course, World Cups will be nothing without controversy. The FIFA website put up that Mohamed Salah would not start for Egypt 20 minutes ago, and he was still there till 2 minutes ago. And now, via a tweet from the Egyptian FA, and who knows what meetings have been had, what words have been spoken, what sponsors are involved, Mo Salah starts on the right-hand side of a 3 for Egypt today with, I say, a teammate of the 45-year-old goalkeeper El Hadari. So something's happened in the Egyptian camp in the last 15 minutes, which means that Mo Salah, if he's fit to play, great. Let's see one of the great players in the world having a go. Looking forward to that. Meanwhile, I say Matt and Ennie are still with me. Of all England's possible opponents, I'd start with you, Matt. Colombia, to me, they look like what Argentina should be. A team that defends their goal properly and then lets their brilliant array of forwards get on with it.
Yeah, that'd be really dangerous opponents for England in the last 16, because I was really impressed with them last night. Great story with Falcao scoring as well. I thought it was a fantastic goal, the way he got it out of his feet and took the shot on early. But after his injury problems and watching him at club level, you thought perhaps his international career would have been over, but for him to be at a World Cup and scoring the goal he did was great. James Rodriguez in the team. Cuadrado I thought was much better in their second game. Quintero has really impressed me. They're playing with pace and energy. The fans are right. I mean, the number of fans that they've brought is quite frightening. The Colombians, they're probably the best supported nation at this World Cup. I like the two centre-backs, obviously Davinson Sanchez, you'll know, for Spurs, and Yerry Mina alongside him as well from Barcelona. So they've got a really good side, and that would be a dangerous team to play in the last 16.
And Ennie, I guess you would probably concur with that and say England probably better off, getting Japan or Senegal.
Yeah, I think that group is a tricky one. You've got 4 teams from 4 different continents in that group. I know Poland have been poor, but I don't think any team out of those three, out of Japan, Colombia, Senegal, are easy. I think Senegal are very unorthodox but effective. I saw the Senegal-Poland game, and Senegal, every time they got into the final third, they looked like they were going to score, particularly with Mane on the left-hand side. I know he scored yesterday as well. My preference would be for England to play Japan. I think in terms of their style of play, I think it'll be easier for England to suffocate that sort of passing style of play, that tiki-taka technical style of play. I think Japan physically won't be able to match England, so I would prefer for Japan to lose in their final game, and Colombia to win. Obviously, if they finish second and England finish top. So I'm hoping that Japan is the team that England play.
I totally agree, Eddie, because watching Senegal, actually, I've been quite impressed with the way they've been organised tactically as well. I think that's something that we haven't always been accustomed to with Senegal, but I think they've set up really well. They are got lots of pace in the team, particularly in wide areas, whereas Japan, a smaller team. We've already talked about England, how good they are at set pieces. I think physically England could overrun Japan as well, so I think if you were to pick one out of that group, then I would say Japan as well.
Yeah, and if we return to the perhaps the better of those two teams, and of course Colombia by no means through. During the World Cup, it's inevitable, Matt. We've seen a number of ex-Chelsea players doing very well, Lukaku, etc. But to see Juan Cuadrado, who did nothing really in his time at Stamford Bridge, to see him playing an unfamiliar position at right wing-back or whatever he was supposed to be playing, I mean, his energy and his vision and his goal, what a performance.
Yeah, and particularly on the back of him not playing well in that first game. I mean, he sacrificed when Sanchez got sent off. So I thought he was excellent, really, really good. The drive that he going forward, but he's got good support around him as well. As I say, they've got really good players generally. So, but his performance really stood out alongside Quintero as well, who I was really impressed with.
Well, listen, thank you both very, very much indeed. We'll hear more from Matt and Ennie as we build up more towards Uruguay against Russia. A 3 o'clock kickoff here on TalkSport, live from the Samara Arena. But that's our World Cup update on a plate with Just Eat, the app for all your takeaway needs. Now, order your takeaway this evening ahead of tonight's tasty encounters as Iran take on Portugal and Spain face Morocco.
Update on a plate on TalkSport with Just Eat. Tap the app, order your takeaway, and try to remain calm. Just Eat. Put it on a plate.
Well, you know they're running all their business now. We're about an hour and 4 minutes away here on TalkSport from the kickoff of the game between Uruguay and the host Russia. Over on TalkSport 2, they'll bring you full commentary of that game between Saudi Arabia and Egypt, where we know that Mo Salah does start now. That's just the first of 4 games here for you, live on TalkSport, and you're listening to World Cup Live.
The World Cup. The biggest stage for upsets, passion and opportunity. Your gut says to take advantage of every game, and your smarts say where to go. Because Betfair have had the best odds on the World Cup, so you always get the most from your bet. Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts.
Data provided by TX Odds and BetRadar, based on Betfair Sportsbook average match odds over round since 12th of March 2018. Full terms at betfair.com, 18 plus begambleaware.org.
The football in Russia on TalkSport with Toolstation. Free next day business delivery on orders over £10.
The World Cup live on TalkSport with Just Eat, the app for world-class takeaways. Order yours tonight and you could win a spectacular 2018 football plate, like this one. Just Eat. Put it on a plate.
Introducing jackpot bets from Mr. Green Sport. The correct score predictor with a chance to win £5 million at this summer's tournament. To enter, predict the correct scores of 8 international matches, submit as little as a 50p stake, and you could be our next millionaire. There's unlimited entries and 5 game rounds during the tournament, each with £5 million to be won. Play jackpot bets only at Mr. Green Sport, with Green Gaming to help you stay in control and gamble responsibly. Final round closes 30th of June 2018, 50p minimum bet to qualify, terms and conditions apply, 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Goal! What a strike, Cammy! Keeper, no chance! Surely that's the winner! Did you see that, Cammy? Cammy?
What goal, Jeff? I must have missed, sir. I was chatting with the delivery man. Keep calm and carry on. The biggest winner is our Papa John's large pizza with 2 sides, only $18.99. Unbelievable deal.
Minimum spend, participating stores, exclusions apply.
Oh,
Ocean Credit Card.
If you're looking for a credit card with a credit limit of up to £1,500, go to askocean.co.uk and see in seconds if you'll be accepted for an Ocean credit card before you apply. Checking won't affect your credit rating, so it's a no-brainer. Find out if it's a yes. Go now to askocean.co.uk. 39.9% APR representative variable. Intelligent Lending Limited is a credit broker. Capital One is the exclusive lender.
askocean.co.uk.
Do you want to buy your dream car at an excellent price? Shpock it! Really easy, really fast. Find great deals from private and professional sellers? Shpock it! What are you waiting for? Buy and sell cars with the Shpock app. Download now for free and discover Shpock's cars category.
Oh, what a save! Here at Adrian Flux, the majority of our customers pay less than £500 for their van insurance. So why not try us today and get your hands on a great deal? Call 08000 856 356 to see how much you could save. Oh, another fantastic save from Adrian Flux. Call 08000 856 356 or visit adrianflux.co.uk. Authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Beer, pizza, football, marvellous.
Right now, Co-op Super Saver deal is any 2 Co-op thin and crispy margarita or pepperoni pizzas plus a 4-pack of Budweiser bottles for just £5.
And I'm wearing my lucky shirt.
Oh, great. The one you were wearing last time we lost.
Subject to availability, 5 deals per customer. See Co-op stores for details.
Are you seeing this? If I bet £5 on any Bet Your Way market on the England game, Betway will give me a £5 free bet. With Bet Your Way, you can combine anything you like. Cards, corners, goal scorers and goals! And here I was thinking the World Cup couldn't get any better. A £5 free bet.
Betway, for the love of the game. Single bet at odds of evens or over. 18 plus. T's and C's apply. BeGambleAware.org.
On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. World Cup live on Talk Sport. Hear full commentary of all today's games. Uruguay versus Russia on Talk Sport. And Saudi Arabia versus Egypt over on Talk Sport 2. Kickoff 3 p.m.
Every game, every goal, every day.
World Cup live on Talk Sport.
Yeah, you're listening to World Cup Live with me, Danny Kelly, building up now to our 3 o'clock kickoff here on Talk Sport from the Samara Arena. Uruguay against Russia. Who's going to top Group A?
Out towards Golovin. Right-footed curling ball in from him and a header across the face of the goalkeeper goes in. It's first blood to Russia in the 2018 World Cup.
The expectation of a whole nation is on their shoulders and these 11 players and the rest of the squad, and they're almost in knockout football straight away.
Sanchez right-footed out swinging ball. Oh, they certainly can! They've done it! It's Jimenez in the 90th minute to surely win the game for Uruguay!
Anytime they look like they're threatening Godin or Jimenez snuffs out the danger. He's such a good defender.
Schubert, lovely touch, fabulous goal! Artem Schubert on his right foot, drilled it past El Shanawi, and Russia are running riot again. Goalkeeper coming a long way, misses his punch, and there's the opening goal from Luis Suarez. He marks his 100th appearance for Uruguay in style. Uruguay cough and splutter into the knockout stage. It finishes here in Rostov. Suarez inspired Uruguay 1, Saudi Arabia 0. 2 wins out of 2 for the hosts. They're on the brink of the knockout stage of the World Cup.
Yeah, that's your 3 o'clock kickoff. The host, Russia, take on twice winners of the World Cup at Uruguay. And they will play in the next round, depending on this result tonight and other results this evening, either Spain, Portugal or Iran. It's complicated. Let's get something much more simple. The team news from a man who I know has been in position for nearly 3.5 hours, your match commentator, Gary Taphouse.
Afternoon, Danny. Nice to speak to you again. Yeah, something of a party atmosphere here in Samara with both sides already through. This is essentially a shootout to see who tops Group A. A draw enough for the hosts, courtesy of their vastly superior goal difference. So Uruguay know they have to win in order to finish top. So the winners of this group will face the runner-up from Group B, and that'll be in Sochi in 5 days' time, so probably Spain or Portugal, while second place in this group will face the Group B winners in Moscow a day later, again
probably Spain or Portugal, unless Iran can do something remarkable. Now, the Russia coach Stanislav Cherchesov said ahead of this game that he had no interest in resting players. He wants to keep winning after scoring 8 goals in 2 games. He does make 3 changes. In fact, both coaches do. Russia changed both of their fullbacks, and the youngest member of the squad, Alexander Golovin, gets a rest as well. Otherwise, it's pretty much as you were, pretty much as you'd expect. So Igor Akinfeev in goal, earning his 109th cap. Fedor Kudryashov comes in at right back. Kutupov and Ignashevich, of course, the centre halves. Yuri Kaczynski and Zobnin keep their place in central midfield. And then Alexei Moranchuk, one of the Moranchuk twins, the more experienced one in terms of caps, comes in the number 10 position with Samedov and Cheryshev, who's made such an impact in this tournament, on the left-hand side. And Artem Zhuba, who so many people are saying would be great in the Premier League after scoring twice already in this competition and looking very impressive. He leads the line. 3 changes as well for Uruguay, although the front two of Suarez and Cavani do play. Sebastian Coates, once of Liverpool and Sunderland, and now rebuilding his career with Sporting Lisbon, comes into defence. Naitan Nandez comes in on the right-hand side, and we get a look from the start of Diego Laxalt on the left. So Fernando Muslera earning his 100th cap in goal. He's the 7th Uruguayan to achieve that. The back 4 is Guillermo Varela, Jose Jimenez, Sebastian Coates, who comes in for Godin, and Martin Cáceres. Midfield is Naitan Nandez, Matias Vecino, Rodrigo Bentancur, who is 21 today. What a way to spend your 21st birthday. Diego Laxalt on the left, and then up front, Edinson Cavani and Luis Suarez. By the way, Uruguay have kept clean sheets in their last 5 games. The national record is 6, which was set 48 years ago.
Thank you very much indeed, Gary. What an idea. Over 200 caps between the two goalkeepers. Alongside Gary, your expert summariser, a man who knows the World Cup as a player and a manager, and who's been adorning TalkSport's coverage of the tournament. Delighted to say good afternoon to Mick McCarthy. Hi, Mick.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Very, very good indeed. Thank you very much for being with us yet again. For myself, Mick, when the tournament started, I knew that Uruguay would be a decent team. I have to say I'm surprised by Russia so far.
Isn't everybody else? Remember, they were making fun of them, weren't they, about the coach and all having to come in moustaches, and
yep.
You know, they were a figure of fun, and they've won 2 games, 2 great results. And I have to say, I've been to some of the tournaments, certainly as a player and as a manager, but as a pundit as well. And if the whole nation goes out, suddenly switch off. It's like, well, that's it, over and done with. So I'm delighted they've got through, and it's making it a better competition.
I mean, obviously, Mick, they hadn't any competitive games in the build-up to this World Cup, so we were relying on friendlies and things. And let's be fair, one of the reasons people were being so dismissive of them is they'd shown no sort of form. What have they done in this tournament that's been so impressive?
They're playing competitive games. I make the point every pre-season, although I won't be making it this pre-season, of course.
Not yet.
But and I've said openly, I hate pre-season. Not the pre-season, but the pre-season games.
The friendlies, yeah.
Yeah, because as a player, I could never get up for them, ever. And you know, they might say, oh, you should be able to get up for them. No, because you're at a different level. And you know, you're just trying to get yourself fit, and then believe me, August 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever day that was, they all, you know, it switches on. So Russia playing friendly games, and you know, some people won't turn up for friendlies, and they're just not treated the same. So it's competitive football, and I'm sure, well, it's shown, hasn't it, in this competition. And
of course, the other thing, Mick, that we've seen from them is the amazing amount of running they're putting into each match.
Yeah, well, they're the home nation, playing on home soil, in front of, you know, multi-millions of their family, friends, supporters. If you can't do it in a World Cup and run around, then there's something sadly wrong with you.
Meanwhile, Uruguay, if I might be so bold, entirely predictable. A really good goalkeeper, tremendous defenders, particularly the normal middle two, and Suarez and Cavani up front. If they provided the other 6 buy into it, they were always going to be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, it's a shame if you've got 5 good ones and 6 that are not pulling their weight so much. I haven't seen them play. I think I've been flitting around, I've been at a wedding, I've been somewhere else, so I've not caught all the games. But, you know, with Cavani and Suarez up front, you know, you've got a chance in any game, I think.
Yeah, and the midfielders, and Gary will back me up here, Torreira, Betancourt and Vecino have all been very, very good as well, and have done a ton of running to make sure that those two up front get the chances.
I'm looking forward to seeing the game because I said I haven't seen all the games, but the fact it's not a dead rubber. Both of them are going through, but I just listening to Gary saying there that whichever win or lose, they look like getting Spain or Portugal and Spain.
Yes, unlike England and Belgium, I don't think they're going to have the luxury of being able to pick and choose slightly weaker opponents. They're liable to run into a really good team.
That's an awful lottery to be in, that one, isn't it, when you win that ticket? Yeah. Thanks very much.
Well, they might argue they had a reasonably comfortable Group A. Their last 16 choice is not going to be quite such a bed of roses. Mick, I want to ask you about last night's game. I know you watched Poland against Colombia. Poland unbelievably disappointing. Colombia absolutely excellent.
Yes, well, you've nailed it in one. Poland changed the shape of the team before the game. The coach did, and you know, I was asked, you know, is it a panic move? I said, well, it could be, but if you play so badly and you don't believe in it, and you change it by all means. But then I'm watching them, and that wasn't working. And I'm thinking, and I hate to be critical of other coaches and managers, but I'm just saying what I would think I'd have been going, well, I've got to change this. I've got to do something. It's not working. The two lads in midfield were getting overrun by their three. The two full-backs were running the wing-backs all the way back. It just wasn't working at all. But
sorry.
Go on, no. Go on, make your point.
My point was, and of course, if you're not clicking as a team, Colombia have so many talented forwards, and what a treat after 4 years of not quite being the player we remember from last, to see James Rodriguez beating his man, flicking the ball about.
Yeah, he played very well.
Lovely, wasn't it?
It was lovely, and his partner in crime behind him, Mujica, was excellent. The 17, the left, he was very good. Cuadrado was, I thought, probably arguably the best player on the pitch. But Falcao up front, he got his goal as well, which is his first in 4 years from first ever World Cup goal, is it, in a finals?
It is.
They just played well. And as much as I hate to say it, because Ospina was dramatic beyond belief, but when he was called upon, he made 2 or 3 really good saves. The Arsenal goalkeeper spent about half the first half lying on the pitch, but he did make some good saves when he was called upon. I mean, Matt Holland and Eni Aluko are still with us. I'll start with Eni. Looking forward to this game today because Russia have been so dynamic and Uruguay a little bit more pragmatic. Should be a good game.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I think you've got 2 front lines for Uruguay and Russia that have been successful so far in the tournament. I think, as you said there, you know, they don't really have a choice of you know, who do we pick to play in the next round. Spain and Portugal are both very, very top, very, very good teams. So I think this game they'll just want to win it for both teams will want to win it to continue their momentum and good form so far.
And Matt, again, we're talking there to Mick about it. Russia a surprise, perhaps to the rest of us. But just with your midfield hat on, I wouldn't want to be having to run around against these boys.
No, they've certainly put a shift in, haven't they, in the first couple of games. This is the first real test, though, up against a Uruguayan side with the quality players that they've got. You know, they've been very impressive in those first 2 games, but this is a different test altogether. I'm looking forward to it because I'm heading off to Red Square a little bit later. And honestly, when the Russians play, Red Square is electric. Let me tell you, it is absolutely fantastic. All the fans and the singing, and particularly the first 2 games because they've won both of them. If they win again tonight, wow, I'm not sure I'm going to be getting on that metro back.
Well, look, actually, I would hope that in the next 15 minutes or so here on World Cup Live, Matt and Eni, I hope you will give me some of your experiences of being in Russia, the country, and Russia, the tournament, rather than just being in football stadiums watching matches. I'd be very keen to hear what you've been to see and what you've enjoyed or perhaps not enjoyed. Perhaps we'll do that a little bit later, not too long away now, here on World Cup Live, where you continue to hear the build-up to our TalkSport live match at 3 o'clock from the Samara Arena. That's Uruguay against Russia. And don't forget, if you want to hear Saudi Arabia and Egypt, that's over on TalkSport 2. You're listening to Russia against Uruguay here on TalkSport with the Co-op. Grab some great deals on soft drinks, snacks and beer. Football's better together at the Co-op.
The football in Russia on TalkSport with the Co-op. Snacks for the football and refreshments all round. Result: football's better together at the Co-op.
Full match commentary of all today's games.
TalkSport and TalkSport 2 are going twos up. Hear full commentary of both final Group B games at the same time.
Iran versus Portugal on Talk Sport. Spain versus Morocco on Talk Sport 2. Kick-off 7 p.m. Full match commentary of all.
Tournament football can be unpredictable. So for all World Cup matches, back a team to win, and if they go 2 goals up at any point, Paddy Power will pay out as a winner immediately, whatever happens next. A wonder goal from a teenager. A random headbutt from a Frenchman. A hungry Uruguayan. Whatever. Go 2 up and nothing gets in the way of your winnings. Paddy Power. Enough of the nonsense. Applies to pre-match win, draw, win singles only. Not available in shops. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. In June, we've got a 6x3 foot sheet of 12.5mm standard plasterboard for only £3.49 ex VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
Check their reputation. Check their insurance. Check their background. Check how much time you're wasting on all of this when you could be watching the football instead. Or just go to checkertrade.com and do it all in one. Exactly. When you need someone to do a job around your home, checkertrade.com should be the first place you go. Visit checkertrade.com, where reputation matters.
Checkertrade.com. The World Cup is all about fans. From the die-hard obsessives, the Spanish, Brazilians and the English, to the pure blind optimists, the Panamanians, Peruvians and, of course, the English. Every World Cup day, Yahoo Sport presents The 32. Stars and experts join fans from every one of the 32 World Cup nations for previews, analysis and opinion. 32 nations, 32 fans, 32 days. The 32 on Yahoo Sport.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. In June, we've got a 6x5 foot close board fence panel for only £16.85 ex VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
Expect to build your own car deal online, anytime, at arnoldclark.com. Expect over 200 branches nationwide. Expect to choose from over 20,000 cars. And expect the UK's best used car deals, guaranteed.
Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Expect the Arnold Clark experience. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Philip Schofield here. I love that with WeBuyAnyCar.com you could find out what your car's worth in 60 seconds. Then you can get back to doing whatever you were doing, like your hedge trimming. You can't see, but I've sculpted a flamingo mid-flight, and I'm pretty pleased with it. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
TalkSport Traffic and Travel with Virgin Media. The only place to get all the football on Sky Sports and BT Sport in one package. Search Virgin Media Football. Terms apply.
The M8 is down to one lane westbound in Glasgow at junction 17 for the A82. That is for an accident. Into Manchester on the M66 southbound from junction 3 to 4 at Sinister Island. A lane is shut for barrier repairs. Into Cheshire on the M6, a lane has been closed southbound between junction 18 for Middlewich and 17 for Crewe. A car's broken down there, so it is very, very slow. And still looking on the M6, but northbound in Warwickshire as there are queues from the Crawley services towards the M6 toll road as there has been a breakdown. I'm Hannah Trinder.
Unmissable matches from the motherland. The 2018 FIFA World Cup, Russia.
Silky skills from behind the Iron Curtain.
Live on TalkSport. World Cup update on TalkSport.
With The Sun. Pick up The Sun or head to thesun.co.uk for the latest news of Russia 2018. World Cup for it.
Yeah, I'm delighted to say we're joined now, and this is very important given who England's opponents are next and the importance of the game. David Coverdale from The Sun, football reporter, of course, and he is at the Belgium training camp. Good afternoon, David.
Afternoon, Danny.
Very much so. Thank you. A huge thank you for joining us here. You're in and around the Belgians. I guess the mood there will be just as good as that surrounding England.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm here in Dedos, which is about an hour northwest of Moscow. Their training session's about to start in 15 minutes. All eyes will be on to see whether Romelu Lukaku and Eden Hazard train, because Roberto Martinez said they picked up an injury after the win over Tunisia. But I think we expect them to train, but we'll soon find out. But yeah, the Belgian mood is very, very confident, very optimistic. They're really on a high. They've had a great 2 wins. It's all going very well for them at the moment.
I mean, the issue for them, it seems to me, David, is that they go into this England game and people like me will be saying, oh, it might be better to lose, it might be better to win, etc., and all of that. But for Belgium, momentum is a huge thing, because this group of players are so obviously talented, so obviously a golden generation, and have failed at previous tournaments, that they will want to keep winning, I guess, because they need to convince themselves that they are as good as everyone says they are.
You're absolutely right. Momentum is key. And also Belgium, while they've done so well under Roberto Martinez, they're 21 games unbeaten, they haven't beaten a big team like England. So were they to beat England on Thursday night, that would be a real statement and a real confidence boost for them. However, Roberto has already come out and said he's going to make major changes. He said because of their games come thick and fast down the knockout stage, so he can't afford to keep playing the same 11 in every game. So he's already hinted, maybe he could be as much as 6 changes in his team. So while he does want to win the game, I think his priority is that all his players don't pick up any injuries. The ones that need a breather get a breather, and the 3 that are on bookings don't pick up a second yellow card.
But David, that's where I think managers, the media, we all get into a mess. The 2 things are not compatible. You can't say we want to win every game and then say we're going to make major changes, unless perhaps you're Brazil and have literally 2 great players for every position.
I completely agree with you, but I'd imagine that is what Roberto Martinez, that's exactly what he will say. He'll say they want to win, but he's already said they'll make major changes. So you're absolutely right, they're not compatible. But I think right now his priority is keeping his players fit, not picking up any injuries. And we all know the draw, it doesn't really matter if you finish first or second at the moment. So that will be in the back of his mind, whatever he says.
Yes, I guess the only dark spot so far on the Belgian horizon is the continued lack of fitness of Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting today to see whether he trains with the group. Thomas Vermaelen started training before the Tunisia game, which was a boost for them. Roberto Martinez said last week that Kompany should be fit for this week, the England game. So he really will hope that he does have a good 2 or 3 days training and can play against England, get some minutes under his belt, because he's going to be vital come the knockout stages. Cedric Bass has been stepping in for him so far. He's done okay, but you'd much rather have Kompany when it comes to the last 16 and quarter-finals.
And what's your, just with the way the games have gone so far, David, do you think England and Belgium, I mean, obviously going to be it's an all-Premier League clash, give or take. It could be a very close game, but have England got the beating of this team?
I think were they to play their full-strength sides, it would be a very close game. I think, Belgium look the stronger team on paper, but England are so confident at the moment, playing so well, that they would fancy the chances. And again, it would send out a statement if they were to beat Belgium. Now, the real thing we don't know is just what teams England and Belgium are going to put out. But it should be a close game, whatever. Like you said, lots of Premier League players. They all know each other very well. I could well imagine sort of a 1-1 draw in this on Thursday.
Listen, David, thank you very, very much indeed for joining us. That's David Coverdale from The Sun.
World Cup update on Talk Sport.
With The Sun. Pick up The Sun or head to thesun.co.uk for the latest news of Russia 2018. World Cup for it.
Okay, let's move away a little bit from the actual football for a few minutes. And for those of you who have not been, World Cups are, in my experience, extraordinary events if you get there in person, because the tournament happens sometimes in these countries in a bubble, but there's a really intense bubble of football and football supporters, and then occasionally you break out and get to see the people and the wonderful sights of the host country, and that can change the way you think about both the tournament and indeed the whole world. I remember my own experience in 2006. Going into the cathedral in Cologne, that great, the most wonderful Gothic building perhaps that the human hand has ever produced, and walking in there in this 1,000-year-old temple and seeing 3,000 football fans very reverently going about their business in literally a spectrum of coloured shirts, and the memory has stayed with me to this day. And I'm delighted to say we've still got Eni Aluko, former England international, of course, and Matt Holland, a former Republic of Ireland stalwart, with us there in Russia. I thought I'd talk to them a little bit about their experiences of the World Cup outside of the stadiums. And I guess I'll start because why not with Eni? What's your experience been so far of Russia the country and Russia the people, Eni?
Yeah, it's been very, very positive. I'm staying in a hotel right about a stone's throw from the Bolshoi, obviously the famous ballet theatre, which is amazing, because it's sort of the quintessential Moscow, really, and everywhere around me is fans from all over the world. I went to see the Bolshoi the other day and found myself in a huge selfie with about 20 Peruvian fans. They asked me to take a picture of them. I took a picture, and then they were saying, come on, join us in the picture. So I said, okay, well, no problem. So I ended up in a picture with 20 Peruvians. I've been to Nizhny yesterday to see England. That was, absolutely scorching hot, but really pretty city. St. Petersburg is absolutely stunning. It's like something off a postcard, with all the amazing buildings and the sort of picturesque history there. But I did have a bit of a moment. I went to the gym the other morning, and there was two quite scary-looking Russian guys with beer bellies in the gym, looking at me as if, what on earth are you doing down here? And I looked at them and looked at their bellies as, what are you doing in here? So that was a bit awkward. But other than that, it's been amazing.
Eni, I don't think you understand just how fashionable beer bellies are this summer. But Matt will tell you about mine. Yeah. And Matt Holland, I know that when we spoke before you went out to the World Cup, you were determined to try and get at least some flavour of the country. What's been your experiences so far?
Absolutely brilliant. I've loved every single minute of being here. The people are unbelievably friendly. Everywhere we've been has been fantastic. I've been to Sochi twice on the beach with a Black Sea, which has been beautiful. At Nizhny, I thought was amazing. The stadium there is absolutely terrific. Alan Brazil missed out because the hotel we had a brilliant sports bar, so he would have been disappointed to miss out on that. Rostov, absolutely brilliant. What a place. It's a little bit more rustic than some of the other places we've been to. The taxi I got in after the game was older than me. It just about got us back to the hotel. We actually saw Paul Jiggins from The Sun as well in our hotel. Now, let me tell you, the exclusion zone where they drop you off to get to the ground is about 2 miles. Now, Jiggo he latched onto us because he hadn't seen a soul. He'd been there based on his own, so we couldn't get rid of him. He came in the taxi with us. The exclusion zone was about 2 miles from the stadium. But he's got a bad knee. Oh. Honestly, he was struggling. By the time he got there, he needed to sit down.
But even for a fit person, that's a 40-minute walk, isn't it?
No, it was at least 40 minutes for us. It was about an hour and 40 for Jiggo. But he did get there in the end. Red Square's been great. I've done a bit of TV work there. Do you know what? The Moose gets everywhere. I was in Red Square last night. I was doing some TV work with Christian Carambeau. And guess who pops into the studio?
No.
The Moose. No, the Moose. Seriously, he's there with Christian Carambeau in the studio.
His good friend, Christian Carambeau.
It's best friends they are now, I think. Best friends. And also our fixer. I've got to have a quick word about our fixer. We've got Will Dowie, Ian Dowie's son, who's looking after us. He's a young lad, 21. He's studying Russian at university. I've been absolutely ripping it out of him about how much Russian he actually knows. He ordered a pizza with no mushrooms. It came with extra mushrooms. He knows absolutely limited. In fact, I think my Russian's better than his.
Eni, I've got to ask you a serious question in that there was a lot of talk before the tournament about the trouble there's been in Eastern Europe and Russia with racism directed at the pitches, and Danny Rose made the point that he'd asked his parents not to go out and watch him play for fear that they would be abused because of the colour of their skin. Have you found any problem with that in Russia?
No, nothing at all, honestly, nothing at all. I think there's been a lot of there was a lot of sort of scaremongering before the tournament. It's perhaps probably why there's not that many England fans here, because I think there was a lot of sort of negative scaremongering in the press, which makes people like Danny Rose make those decisions. But for me, I'm based in Moscow, so there's every single nationality here
metropolitan,
supporting their
cosmopolitan,
team.
I suppose.
It's cosmopolitan, metropolitan, so I've had absolutely no problem at all.
Well, I just wanted to ask you that directly because it was such a big issue before, and you can only get people's personal experiences. Otherwise, you're always relying on second-hand reports.
Yeah.
Matt and Annie, I'll ask you both. Anything else you're looking forward to seeing? I mean, the boys in the Hawksby and Jacobs, they've been to the Hermitage, which it looks. I mean, it's supposed to be a museum. It looks more like a palace. There's just so many brilliant things to see. I think particularly in Moscow.
Yeah, well, actually, I was just seeing Jim Proudfoot, and I think him and Sags are off to the ballet, by all accounts, this evening. So, watching Swan Lake in Moscow.
As long as they're not taking part, then, as long as they're
Sags and Jim?
Yeah, quite.
Taking part?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Now, that I would pay to watch.
Well, listen, it's been lovely talking to you about that aspect of it, because I think, as I say, it's so easy, and I've done it myself, to get dragged into the football vacuum and to return home after 3 or 4 weeks and say, actually, I never saw anything except hotels and football stadiums. So it's great to hear that you're both getting out and about, and thank you very, very much for your contribution over the last 90 minutes. Thank you both. That's Matt Holland, Eni Aluko, making such a difference to bringing up the quality, general high quality of TalkSport's coverage of the World Cup. Remember, you're listening to World Cup Live with me, Danny Kelly, and very soon, within the next half an hour, we'll be getting over to the Samara Stadium for one of the 2 final games in Group A, and Uruguay against Russia will decide who will top that group.
Tournament football can be unpredictable. So for all World Cup matches, back a team to win, and if they go 2 goals up at any point, Paddy Power will pay out as a winner immediately, whatever happens next. A wonder goal from a teenager, a random headbutt from a Frenchman, a hungry Uruguayan. Whatever, go 2 up and nothing gets in the way of your winnings. Paddy Power, enough of the nonsense. Applies to pre-match win, draw, win singles only, not available in shops. T's and C's apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. In June, we've got a 6x3 foot sheet of 12.5mm standard plasterboard for only £3.49 ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
Check their reputation. Check their insurance. Check their background. Check how much time you're wasting on all of this when you could be watching the football instead. Or just go to checkertrade.com and do it all in one. Exactly. When you need someone to do a job around your home, checkertrade.com should be the first place you go. Visit checkertrade.com, where reputation matters.
Checkertrade.com.
The World Cup is all about fans. From the die-hard obsessives, the Spanish, Brazilians and the English, to the pure blind optimists, the Panamanians, Peruvians and, of course, the English. Every World Cup day, Yahoo Sport presents The 32. Stars and experts join fans from every one of the 32 World Cup nations for previews, analysis and opinion. 32 nations, 32 fans, 32 days. The 32 on Yahoo Sport.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. In June, we've got a 6x5 foot close board fence panel for only £16.85 ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
Expect to build your own car deal online, anytime, at arnoldclark.com. Expect over 200 branches nationwide. Expect to choose from over 20,000 cars. And expect the UK's best used car deals, guaranteed.
Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Expect the Arnold Clark experience. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Philip Schofield here. I love that with WeBuyAnyCar.com you could find out what your car's worth in 60 seconds. Then you can get back to doing whatever you were doing, like your hedge trimming. You can't see, but I've sculpted a flamingo mid-flight, and I'm pretty pleased with it. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Привет! My name is Boris the Bear. I am official TalkSport ambassador from Russia. I will be making sure you are safe and enjoying the football on TalkSportski.
Every game, every goal, every day of the biggest football tournament on earth. The 2018 FIFA World Cup, Russia, live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
The football in Russia on Talk Sport with Toolstation. Free next business day delivery on orders over £10.
Right, less than half an hour to go now before the live commentary here on Talk Sport of Uruguay against Russia from Samara. Don't forget, if the Saudi Arabia against Egypt match is of more interest to you, then that is over on Talk Sport 2. But here, it's the hosts Russia against twice winners Uruguay, a match that will decide who'll finish top of Group A, and therefore it's a very important game for both sides. Let's find out how the managers have viewed it through the teams that they've picked. Let's get a team news recap with Gary Taphouse.
Yes, hi Danny. We head into the final round of group games. These sides have met 8 times over the years. 6 wins for Russia, just 1 for Uruguay. That did come in the World Cup, actually, in the 1970 quarter-final. The last meeting was in Moscow in 2012 when Luis Suarez scored for Uruguay in a 1-1 draw. Now, in terms of the lineup, Russia have 2 players on yellow cards, Golovin and Smolov, so neither of them play. Stanislav Cherchesov makes 3 changes in all, with both fullbacks, Fernandez and Zhirkov, given a rest. So Akinfeev in goal, Smolnikov at right back, Kudryashov at left back, the familiar centre-back pairing of the veteran Ignashevich alongside Kutupov. Then Zobnin and Gazinski, the 2 holding midfielders. That's the same in all 3 group games. Semedov, Miranchuk and Cheryshev. Cheryshev, who's made such an impact, the former Real Madrid man, scoring 3 goals so far. Miranchuk behind Artem Zuba. Now, a slight update to what I was telling you about the Uruguay team, because we are told that they are going to play 3 at the back, in a slight change from how they've been lining up. 3 changes there as well. So it's Muslera in goal, a back 3 of Martin Cáceres, Sebastian Coates and Diego Godin. Cáceres, who of course played for Southampton for a brief period. 5 in midfield, Nandez on the right, Diego Laxalt on the left, with Torreira holding and Vecino and Rodrigo Bentancur, 21 today, just ahead of him. No change, though, to that front 2, formidable front 2, Luis Suarez and Diego Cavani. Cavani with 42 in 103 and Suarez with 51 in 100. Both hoping to win all 3 of their group games. Russia last did that in 1966. Uruguay have never done it, but if they want to top the group, they'll need to.
Yeah, interesting team news. Thank you very much indeed, Gary Taphouse. Alongside Gary, when the match gets up and running, will be our expert summariser, the former Republic of Ireland manager, Mick McCarthy. And Mick, are you getting used to watching these games as a complete neutral? How much are you looking forward to the actual football match?
Oh yeah, I'm more than happy to watch them as a neutral. The ticker's not going as it normally would if I was involved. They're great games to watch. I mean, you know, some of the players that you see that they've never seen before, and some of the nations that you don't see. I certainly don't now, because I've been doing championship football. Yes. But it's great to see. It's great to see some of the really top players again playing. It's fantastic.
Listen, thank you, Mick, and we'll get back to Mick and Gary as we build up to the actual kickoff, which is now just 24 minutes away here on TalkSport. Now, I thought that Matt Holland and Eni Aluko had been allowed to escape, but no, TalkSport is getting their full pound of flesh. I'm delighted to say we have them still here with us. And I want to widen it out from this game, if I may. I'll start with Matt in this case. How much are you enjoying the tournament? Because Matt, I'm prepared to say, and of course I'm prone to exaggeration, you know me very well, I'm prepared to say that after half a tournament, this is my favourite World Cup that I can remember.
Well, it's certainly very good. When you're here as well, you get sucked into it. You get sucked into the atmosphere. And being at the games, and we have lucked out. I mean, our commentary team have been at some unbelievable games. Been at Sochi twice, and in that Sochi stadium, I've seen Portugal play Spain. Isco put on one of the best individual performances I've seen. Ronaldo scored that unbelievable free kick late on. And then I was there the other day to see Germany beat Sweden in the last minute with Toni Kroos's goal. I've seen Croatia dismantle Argentina, who were absolutely all over the show. And I've seen Brazil play. So I've absolutely lucked out in terms of the commentaries. But you do get sucked in when you get some of the goals we've seen as well. Some of the free kicks. There's been no goalless draws so far. VAR's been controversial. I think when it's used properly, I think it's a good tool. Probably come in a tournament too soon, but in time I think that will prove to be effective. So there's been so many stories about it. I think it has been fantastic.
And Annie, quite apart from the fans, and I mean, the South and Central American supporters are lighting up the tournament, to use a cliche. For me, the thing I think is that there's so few teams whose basic instinct is to defend. Even the smaller nations have worked out that the way the rules are these days, your best hope in any game is to try and get after someone and get a goal.
Yeah, there's been a lot of open play, to counter-attacking play, but I actually like the fact that the tournament is so open. I think coming into the tournament, no one could really put a finger on and say, right, bang on, this team are going to win, this country are going to win. And I think the tournament's proved that, and I think some of the smaller nations have been really tough to break down. And it's made it exciting. There's been a lot of 1-0s, there's been a lot of 0-0s at half-time. Panama against Belgium the other day was 0-0 at half-time. So, I've quite enjoyed that part. You're not being able to call a game necessarily straight away. But for me, the highlights, Matt has definitely looked out, because I was just about to say that for me, the highlights have definitely been Kane's last-minute header. I mean, that, for me, was amazing, obviously, watching England and seeing them win the first game of the tournament, which I think was massive for them. And Kane, getting his brace in the first game. Ronaldo free kick, I mean, that for me was like the last scene of a film. The way he just took his time with it. He did his whole stance, he did the whole breathing thing, and I know he does that a lot, but to do it in the 88th minute against your rival, against players that you play with week in, week out, is just huge. It almost just reminded us again of why he is one of the greatest of all time. And then obviously Germany the other day, scoring in the final minute, Kroos, and the cleverness with which he did it as well, shifting the ball first. To think about doing that with all that pressure, Germany could have gone out that day. So, to shift the ball and to execute that way was just unbelievable. And I think this is where players like Kroos, like Ronaldo, they show why they are, the upper echelon of footballers. Just last minute goals.
It's been interesting to watch the Real Madrid players, of course, who won the Champions League and have continued that fantastic form into this. Modric has been fantastic. Cristiano Ronaldo, fantastic. Toni Kroos got that critical goal. The Madrid players are doing very, very well indeed. Matt, something has occurred to me. I mean, I think it's been superb so far. I like the fact that the VAR is stopping the wrestling, or finally starting to stop the wrestling from the corners. One dark spot on the horizon. How important will it be? How bad a blow for the tournament will it be if Argentina go out?
Well, their fans will be missed, because in Nizhny they were everywhere. I mean, they've been unbelievably well supported. In terms of their play, well, they were awful.
They won't be missed at all.
Exactly, they were awful against Croatia. There was no tactical plan, there was no shape to the team. They were all over the show. Messi couldn't get into it. It looks disinterested at times. I mean, we have to give credit to Croatia as well, because they set up superbly against them. But in terms of what I've seen on the pitch so far, they won't be missed. Do you know what, though? I've got a sneaky feeling that they might just find a way into the last 16. It's a shootout against Nigeria. They have to win the game. I can just see them, I don't know, just doing something, because they've been there before, even in the South American qualifying. The last game they went 1-0 down, and they were staring at going out of the World Cup completely, and Messi stepped up and got a hat-trick. I've just got a sneaky feeling they might do something similar.
Matt mentioned VAR there. I'm not so sure it has been quite so controversial. There have been one or two where I thought, really, you're going to review that? But overall, I mean, when it put a stop to Neymar's ludicrous dive, and when it's forcing defenders to defend properly, if just those two things alone means that, for me, it's been worth doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right on the VAR bandwagon. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think there's still been some really dodgy decisions that VAR could have picked up, i.e., against Kane, with holding back Kane, rugby tackling Kane in the box against Tunisia. But other than that, I think it's been great, and I think it's actually brought a real accuracy to the game that we haven't had. The amount of penalties, I think the amount of penalties now is in the double figures, and that's one reason is because of VAR, and it's brought fairness into the game. Games where teams wouldn't have scored penalties, they've been given a penalty, and rightly so, because of VAR. So for me, it's brought fairness to the game, it's brought an accuracy to the game. And I think a lot of people expected there to be less discussion because of VAR, and I think it's created more discussion, which I think is brilliant. Adds, particularly for us pundits, we're able to talk about VAR, talk about the decisions in the way we always speak about football. So I've really enjoyed that part of the World Cup so far.
It's like I was working with the strings there, and of course I wasn't. Those are your views, but they back up mine 100%. Now, of course, has only just finished, but still a footballer. Matt Holland, one last question for you then. And when you see them, that moment when they appear out of the tunnel, the players, the crowd erupts into, so far as I can hear, volcanoes of noise. Do you wish you had your boots on out there playing again, Matt?
Danny, I wish I had my boots on every single day. I'm alive. It's the best job in the world, and anyone who says different is lying. Honestly, every time I go to a game, whether it be the Premier League, whether it be the Championship, wherever it might be, and I'm really lucky to be here at the World Cup as well, I get that feeling of wanting to play. I turn up and I wish I had my boots in the back of my car ready to go.
Listen, and this time I really am saying goodbye to the pair of you. Annie, thank you very, very much indeed for your contribution for the last 2 hours.
Cheers.
And Matt, thank you very much indeed as well.
Cheers, Danny. We'll speak soon.
I'll tell Connolly he's way off beam with his views. Thank you very, very much indeed to Matt Holland there and Eni Aluko live from Russia. But we're building up now, and you're listening to Uruguay against Russia on TalkSport with Toolstation. Visit toolstation.com to buy today or find your nearest branch.
You see the beautiful game differently and want a different way to bet. So when your gut says there are good odds out there, your smarts say you could get better on the Betfair exchange. Because you don't bet against the bookie, you bet against someone like you. Meaning the odds could be better and you could win bigger. The Betfair exchange, where gut instinct meets smarts.
Exchange customers pay up to 5% commission. Other charges may apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Expect to build your own car deal online, anytime, at arnoldclark.com. Expect over 200 branches nationwide. Expect to choose from over 20,000 cars. And expect the UK's best used car deals, guaranteed.
Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Expect the Arnold Clark experience. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Check their reputation. Check their insurance. Check their background. Check how much time you're wasting on all of this when you could be watching the football instead. Or just go to checkertrade.com and do it all in one. Exactly. When you need someone to do a job around your home, checkertrade.com should be the first place you go. Visit checkertrade.com, where reputation matters.
Checkertrade.com.
The World Cup is all about fans. From the die-hard obsessives, the Spanish, Brazilians and the English, to the pure blind optimists, the Panamanians, Peruvians and, of course, the English. Every World Cup day, Yahoo Sport presents The 32. Stars and experts join fans from every one of the 32 World Cup nations for previews, analysis and opinion. 32 nations, 32 fans, 32 days. The 32 on Yahoo Sport.
We got it at Selco.
Selco, it's where the trade go.
Looking for a wide range of plasterboard? Well, Selco's got it. Want to know that it's in stock? Selco's got it. Want trade prices too? Yep, Selco's got it. A massive range and huge stocks of specialist and performance plasterboards, all at great trade prices. Selco's got it. See selcobw.com to find your nearest branch. Got it?
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
At Arnold Clark, you can expect to build your own car deal online anytime. Expect no hidden fees. Expect the 5-star treatment from our friendly staff. And expect the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Expect the Arnold Clark experience. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Philip Schofield here. I love that with WeBuyAnyCar.com you could find out what your car's worth in 60 seconds. Then you can get back to doing whatever you were doing, like your hedge trimming. You can't see, but I've sculpted a flamingo mid-flight, and I'm pretty pleased with it. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
TalkSport Traffic and Travel with Virgin Media. Home to the full house bundle with BT Sport included as standard. Search Virgin Media Football. Terms apply.
I'm afraid on the M8 it is still down to one lane on the westbound side. That's in Glasgow at junction 17 for the A82. It's all because of an accident. Still looking into Glasgow, but on the M72 as that also slows down on the southbound side near to junction 1A. So the car is on fire there and the emergency services are dealing with it at the moment. Moving into Manchester on the M66 southbound from junction 3 to 4 for Simster Island, a lane has been closed for barrier repairs following an accident. I'm Hannah Trinder.
Every goal ski, every game ski, every day ski.
Mother Russia is calling you.
World Cup live on Talk Sport.
Now towards Golovin. Right footing, curling ball in from him and a header across the face of the goalkeeper goes in. It's first blood to Russia in the 2018 World Cup. Kaczynski with the goal.
Sanchez right footed out swinging ball. Oh, they certainly can! They've done it! It's Jimenez in the 90th minute to surely win the game for Uruguay.
Goalkeeper comes a long way, misses his punch, and there's the opening goal for Luis Suarez. He marks his 100th appearance for Uruguay in style.
Schubert, lovely touch, fabulous goal! Artem Schubert on his right foot drilled it past El Shaarawy, and Russia are running riot again.
Less than 10 minutes to kick off now here on World Cup Live of the final, one of the two final games of Group A, when, as I keep saying, the host Russia take on the twice winners Uruguay. I'll be throwing over to your match commentator Gary Taphouse very, very soon. Let's get some last words on what he's expecting and all that sort of thing from the former Republic of Ireland manager Mick McCarthy. Mick, given that they know pretty much the winners, whichever the winners of this game is, they'll still have to face a pretty powerful team in the next round unless there's a shock involving Iran. What's in it for the winners here today, Mick? Is it a matter of continuing to build what managers always call momentum?
It is absolutely that, momentum, because all the goodwill that they've built up, certainly Russia, you know, because when they set off in this tournament, they were figures of fun. They were talking about all coming up with moustaches and looking like the coach, and then they've got shut of all that. They've got all this great support behind them, so they won't want to lose this game now and then suddenly find that they've lost a lot of that goodwill. And equally Uruguay, you just want to go in and so it doesn't matter whether you're playing Spain or Portugal. I mean, that's like saying you're as bad burnt as scalded. That doesn't really matter. So, you know, just try and win this game and go into the next game feeling good about yourselves.
And in terms of the way that the groups have unfolded, Uruguay, Mick, they have these two outstanding forwards. I mean, we just heard Gary give us the stats. 200 caps between them, 100 international goals. But they haven't yet really took any team apart, Uruguay. Are they going to be relying on this throughout the tournament, being solid and being tough, as Uruguay always are, and hoping that one of their two fantastic forwards can get them something?
Well, when you've got two forwards like Suarez and Cavani, there's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah.
Not giving anything else away, and if the other 9 with the outfield players have to be resolute and tough and stoic and be solid and organised, you're always going to get a chance. And don't forget, those two players can't score without the other guy setting something up.
Sure.
So, but I get that, and if that's they're their two talisman, they're their goal scorers, they're their best players, use them, and that's how you win competitions. If you think, well, we've got two great strikers and we'll all fan out, but we're not very good at the back, you might score a lot, but you'll concede a lot, so you'll be knocked out. You play to your players.
Mick, thank you very, very much indeed. As I always say, you can hear on the radio that the players are making their way onto the field because of the sudden eruption in the stadium in Samara, particularly as the host Russia are taking part. As they walk out onto the field, into those two huge flags, the sun-filled flag of Uruguay and the more familiar tricolour of Russia. It's time for me to hand you over to your commentary team. You've already heard from your expert summariser Mick McCarthy, and your match commentator. The next voice you hear is Gary Taphouse.
Yes, thank you, Danny. Good afternoon, everyone. We're halfway through this World Cup already. 32 games, 85 goals, 16 penalties, and not a single goalless draw. Let's go to the anthem, starting with the Uruguay anthem. Our nation or the grave, liberty or with glory we die. Uruguay fans are going to be outnumbered. You've heard for yourself just how loud that was. Now the Russian anthem, the old Soviet anthem, which President Putin reintroduced with new lyrics back in 2000. Another very familiar tune. Stuff from both sets of supporters. If the quality on the pitch matches the passion from the stands, then we're in for a cracker. Well, I mentioned there have been no goalless draws. I'm not afraid of jinxing it. There's never been a goalless draw between Uruguay and Russia. Both sides are already through. They both know that the likelihood is one that will face Spain and the other will face Portugal. Unless, of course, Iran pull off a surprise and beat Portugal later tonight. France or Croatia, and maybe even Argentina, who knows, await in the quarter-final. A win or a draw will do here for the host nation to finish top. Uruguay will need to win if they want to top the group. Well, let's just remind you of the teams first of all, and both coaches have made a few changes. They haven't changed anything dramatic, although Uruguay have opted to go with 3 at the back, which I don't think anyone saw coming. Sebastian Coates, once of Liverpool and Sunderland, didn't make much of an impact in English football, but he's since rebuilt his career in Portugal, now plays for Sporting Lisbon. He comes into the back 3. Fernando Muslera, the Galatasaray goalkeeper, huge favourite in Turkey. He makes his 100th cap in goal. So Cáceres, Coates and Godin, the 3 central defenders. No Jose Jimenez, he gets a rest. Now Torreira is going to play in front of the back 3, he'll sit. Then there's 4 in front of him. Naitan Nandez on the right, Diego Laxalt on the left, with Vecino and Bentancur in the middle. And then up front, well, no change there. Luis Suarez and Edinson Cavani, and apologies, I called him Diego Cavani earlier. I don't know where that came from, won't happen again. Edinson Cavani's said earlier he's got a bit of a point to prove, because although he was top scorer in South American qualifying with 10, he's yet to really make a mark in World Cup finals games, just 2 in 12 for El Matador. As for Russia, well, they have Akinfeev in goal, of course. Changes at fullback for them. Smolnikov and Kudryashov come in at right and left back, respectively. Kutupov and Ignashevich, the familiar centre-half pairing. Ignashevich, who had to be begged to come out of retirement because of injury, still going strong, though. At the age of 38, Zobnin and Gazinski, the 2 holding midfielders. Then ahead of them, Semedo, Miranchuk and Cheryshev, who's been brilliant in this tournament so far, and Artem Zhuba, the unmistakable figure of Artem Zhuba, leading the line for Russia. Plays in the Russian Premier League for Arsenal Tula. He finished 7th in the table last season. So the scene is set here at the imposing Samara Arena. Atmosphere absolutely scintillating. The referee is from Senegal, Malang Diédiou, 45 years of age. His 2nd World Cup game of his career. The first was last week in this stadium between Costa Rica and Serbia. And he gets us underway. Russia all in white, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Uruguay in their very familiar strip, light blue top with black shorts and black socks. They're playing left to right as we look. The last 3 European host nations have won all 3 of their group games. Italy in 1990, France in 98 and Germany in 2006. Russia are looking to emulate that, and the fans here are probably anticipating precisely that. Expectation levels are through the roof after the hosts' first 2 games, in stark contrast to their form coming into their tournament. Those final 2 warm-up games, they managed just 1 shot on target in total. Now they're already through to the knockout phase for the first time since 1986, with 8 goals scored. The ball is in midfield with Cheryshev, but he's been very swiftly dispossessed. And the first shot in anger is struck just wide from 25 yards. No danger there for the Russian goalkeeper, Akinfeev. And we can get our first word from the man alongside me, the former Republic of Ireland manager, Mick McCarthy.
Yeah, there's no danger from the shot, but you know, if you're out there playing, you've got strikers, midfield players that get a chance to shoot. Why not try and put one on target? Unfortunately, he's missed it, but just test the keeper out. Give your team a bit of confidence from the start.
Alexei Miranchuk it was with the eventual strike. Twin brothers, the Miranchuk brothers, Alexei and Anton. And It was Alexei, who's earning his 19th cap at the age of 22, who had the shot. And it's Uruguay in possession down the right-hand side with Martin Cáceres. Gets the return ball from Nández, who's very disappointing in the first game down the right-hand side, looking to show what he can do after a poor performance in which he was substituted. Uruguay lose the ball, but eventually it's played back to their goalkeeper, Muslera. And the ball's been put out of play because it should be a throw on this right-hand side, despite the fact they carried on playing. The referee's finally got his message across. It is very, very loud inside this stadium. The throw-in has been taken by Cáceres, straight down the middle, and Cavani went over, clutching both ankles. The Senegal referee just tells him to get up and get on with the game.
Oh yeah, the defender won the ball. He certainly followed through. He's left a bit on him there. And by the way, rightfully so.
Yeah.
First few minutes of the game, defender tackling Cavani. He's not that badly hurt, is he? He's up anyway, but he won the ball. The fact that he caught him on the follow-through, well, unlucky, I'm afraid. You get no sympathy from me.
No.
I'm just looking at them. You said about them changing to the three at the back, and I'm wondering, is it for this game or is it for future games? Because they've been playing 4-4-2. If they have to play Spain or play against Portugal, they may have to tighten up in midfield, and two might not be enough. So maybe it's with a view to the next game rather than this one.
Well, I think the key is the fact that they play two up front. When you've got Cavani and Suarez, they both want to play through the middle, and I think he's had to find a system that accommodates that. Played 4-4-2 throughout qualifying, but it's interesting that now they've already qualified, he's just trying something a little bit different, and we'll see how it transpires. But it's Russia in possession, a huge roar as they win it back in midfield, and it's Kudryashov inside to Zobnin. He's done a very good job sitting in front of the back four so far this tournament, although as we keep saying, not against elite opposition. And then the ball is played all the way back to Igor Akinfeev, who seems to have been around for so long now in goal for Russia. Diego Godin at the other end just has to usher it behind, with Juba putting pressure on, and the ball goes harmlessly behind for a goal kick to Uruguay, away to our left-hand side, and it's their goalkeeper Muslera, who's had 6 years as number one in Galatasaray, cult hero there, puts the ball down, earning his 100th cap this evening.
See, Russia are trying to stop them playing out there. The three centre-backs split, the two wide ones went really wide, and the two they've almost pushed us further centre-forward opposite Maranchuk up alongside Juba to stop them playing out and making them kick it, which I don't think they want to do.
Here come Uruguay down the right-hand side. Cáceres, long ball forward. Well, a thumbs up from Suarez for the ball forward, but it was totally overhit, straight through to Akinfeev. 5 minutes gone, and both teams just settling into the game here at a packed Samara Arena in lovely warm conditions. 0-0 on TalkSport. And it's Russia now coming forward, or at least that was the idea, as the ball was laid off down the left-hand side. Kudryashov not able to keep it in play. It's all rather frantic and frenetic, and it'll be a throw to Uruguay down their right-hand side, taken by Cáceres. Out 20 yards short of the halfway line, launches it up towards halfway, and it out of play in front of the dugouts for another throw to Uruguay down the right. Let's talk about whether they can get the service up to Suarez and Cavani. Suarez, who bagged the winner in the last game on his 100th cap. Cavani, who's yet to score.
Yeah, I'm looking at their setup, and they're playing 3-5-2, but it looks to me like they're playing one in behind the two strikers. They're not going to sit. They've got two sitters, I think. So it looks like at the moment, trying to work it out. I think they have. They've got two sitters, the two strikers up top and one playing in behind. So there's still the three in midfield, but not a sitter and two up behind.
Cáceres again.
There are so many different variations of that system for me, that 3-4-3, 3-5-2, where you put them. It's very flexible.
Ball's played forward down the left by Torreira. and Suarez was the target of it. And he's put it out of play, and it'll be a throw to be taken by the dreadlocked Diego Laxalt. Gets it into the penalty area. It's played back to Nandez, but that's given away. And a huge roar as Zuba gets on the ball, plays it to the left-hand side, and Cheryshev, who's really made a mark on this tournament, tries to drill it into the penalty area, blocked by Sebastian Coates and cleared by Nandez. They didn't really make the most of that opportunity on the counter, Russia.
Not really, but they've got three defenders there. So although Zuba's picked it up, and Cheryshev, who I agree with, has been excellent in this tournament so far, they've got three defenders to cope with, so they can slide across and they've snuffed it out.
Cheryshev, who had a bit of a grim spell at Real Madrid, didn't work out for him at all, but it certainly worked out for him in this tournament. Started on the bench. You wouldn't have believed he was going to be scorer of 3 goals by the third game, coming off and scoring twice in that first match, starting the second. Moved to Spain when he was just 5 years old, and in fact he said he feels more Spanish than Russian, but it hasn't held him back in terms of playing for the Russian national team. That back pass isn't the best, and Suarez picks it up in the Russian right-back area. Cavani in the centre, he's tried to play it into him. He didn't, but there's a foul on the edge of the penalty area. Oh, that's a poor challenge by Gazinski, right on the edge of the box. And it was Rodrigo Bentancur who was caught so close to being a penalty, by the way. They do have a free kick right on the edge of the box.
It was a poor ball by Suarez, and I thought he should have done better, but Benton goes up behind it. He's the guy that's playing up behind the 2 strikers, so he's managed to catch up. They haven't got a sitter. He's up there to try and get up and help the 2 strikers, and he's got a free kick in a great position.
Really like Bentancur. He joined Juventus last summer from Boca Juniors. Already has 6 major trophies in the bag, 21 today. Not bad, is it?
Not bad at all.
I know how I spent my 21st birthday, and it certainly wasn't anything as exciting as this.
Was it in a heap somewhere, was it?
Probably, yes. Probably. Now, 9 minutes gone. The yellow card shown to Gazinski for that poor challenge. And this is a great position. It can be too close to goal, can't it, sometimes? That's the problem.
It is, yeah. If you get so close, sometimes it's better to move it, to get it up and down there. But, well, you've got a very technical player on it. That's for certain.
Half a yard outside the box, just left of centre. Luis Suarez, right-footed, brilliant goal! Oh, he is the man, Luis Suarez, with his second goal of the tournament. He drilled it low into the far corner. It wasn't too close to goal for him, was it? 10th minute, Uruguay 1, Russia 0.
Well, it went completely off-piste, didn't it? He didn't go for that, trying to get it up and down and just clip it over the crossbar. He's aimed low and hard into the bottom corner. That's where it's finished up. And even if you hit it there, you might get a deflection. Those ones that just chip it over the bar, it drives everybody mad, and it's such a disappointment. Great free kick that. See, as somebody moved him, he's aimed at his 2. What's he been doing? The big striker shifted everybody out of the way. If he'd have stood still, it'd have hit him.
Well, that's extraordinary, isn't it?
Oh, that is just bonkers. He's moved the 2 Uruguay players, but he's just left it wide open. He was stood there.
Well, just to underline what Mick was saying there, Uruguay had 2 men in the wall looking to disrupt things. One of them was Cavani, but actually it was Zuba who pushed those 2 out of the way and made a huge hole. And Suarez put it through it. I don't think I've ever seen defending like that before.
No, they were going to move anyway. Quite clearly they were going to move and leave a gap. But then Zuba would have been there. But in doing what he's done, he's left his own position.
At the other end, Diego Laxalt has made a rather naive challenge. And it's a free kick to Russia down the right-hand side. And that run with no goalless draws in this tournament, by the way, continues. Uruguay 1, Russia 0. Remember, Uruguay have to win to top the group. They've made the perfect start.
Pressure off, Gary. Tipping that 0-0 draw.
We could go through the whole tournament at this rate.
Let's hope so. It's great.
Now, the Senegalese referee has spotted the usual pushing and shoving and grappling. Very dangerous game to play with VAR, by the way, as we saw in the England-Panama game yesterday. Free kick from the right for Russia. Well, it was flicked on that near post by Zobnin, but he wasn't able to pick out a teammate.
they've got Miranchuk at the edge of the box, and he's seeing the ball. He should be on his front foot. He should be moving in. If he goes in and challenges, he's got a chance of scoring there. Just stood at the edge of the box.
Zuba with the layoff. Strike by Cheryshev, saved by the goalkeeper. Oh, and he can't put away the follow-up either. Well, that was classic big man, little man, wasn't it? Zuba with a perfect cushion knockdown, and Cheryshev's probably feeling he should have scored.
Yeah, very direct. He's on his right foot, is he? He struck it well, but he's straight at the keeper. I mean, it was a hit the keeper didn't have to move. Nonetheless, he's kept it out of the net, so he puts it down with a good save.
And Diego Godin made sure he couldn't get to the rebound, but he's put it behind for a corner. Once again, the referee concerned about grappling right by the goal line involving Coates and Zuba. But it'll be the first corner of the match to be taken by Alexander Samedov. Oh, it's the same two players again.
I have to say, Gary, I'm having the VAR for this, stopping people grabbing and grappling and just grabbing hold of people, because, well, there's penalties being given, but people are getting headers as well. And if they do it now, having been told so often, then they are crazy.
They can't argue if the penalty's given.
Not at all.
Samedov plays it to the far post, and after all that, it's a really simple catch for the Uruguay goalkeeper Muslera.
After all, it's a dreadful corner, straight at him, straight down his neck. I reckon if it's a yard either side, it's in the net, because he struck it well. You see what he thinks about it there.
Yeah. Well, as things stand, Uruguay would finish top of Group A on 9 points. Russia would finish second on 6, with a long, long way to go. The other game in the group, Egypt against Saudi Arabia, is live on TalkSport 2 right now. Here come Uruguay down the left with Laxalt. And nice little exchange of passes. It's Bentancur, who can be such a dynamic young player, looking to show it in this tournament. Tries to get it forward to Cavani. Russia slip it away down their right-hand side, and Zuba brings it forward. Immediately surrounded by two. That's not really his game, is it? He doesn't want to be running 30 yards with the ball.
No, he didn't look like he knew what he was doing with it either. He stuck his head down and he's running and see how far he can get. But he's got to get his head up and find a pass.
Cleared by Godin. What a defender he is for Atletico Madrid. World class. Of course, normally alongside Jose Jimenez for club and country. Jimenez getting a rest today. And Vecino found himself barged in the back there by Miranchuk, and that'll be a free kick. Well, certainly a physical and aggressive start to the game from both sides.
You'd expect it, wouldn't you? Russia playing at home, although, as you said, they're not the home side according to FIFA. But and Uruguay, I've never seen a game yet where they're not aggressive. Good technical footballers, but they are tough.
Yes, for administrative purposes, Uruguay are actually the home side in this, in Russia. Go figure. But
the shape of the team's causing Russia a problem as well. They've got the two strikers up top. I said they've got Bentancur just in behind, and they can get a really good press on. And they're not getting overloaded in midfield. They've got a good shape to them, Uruguay, at the moment. And of course, Zuba's pretty much there up on his own. I know they've got Samedov, Miranchuk and Cheryshev getting up behind him and sort of run beyond him.
Back pass by Uruguay. Coates it is who gets it back to Fernando Muslera. We've played a quarter of an hour. You're listening to TalkSport, every game live from the FIFA World Cup across the TalkSport network. And it's Uruguay 1, Russia 0. Luis Suarez with the terrific free kick from the edge of the penalty area, low into the bottom corner. And Russia swiftly win it back. He did really well there, Miranchuk, to find Zuba. He brings Cheryshev into it, left-hand side now, left corner of the box, just tries to drill it low into the box, but it's Torreira who gets it away, and that'll be another Russian corner.
That's what Zuba's about. He holds the ball up, lets the people run beyond him, Cheryshev, Miranchuk, Samedov, and then he gets in the box, and he's wanted to cross balls for him.
Scorer in both games for Russia so far. Last time out against Egypt was a quality goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've changed the taker here. The last one was an in-swinger, and Muslera came and took it easily, swinging this out.
Denis Cheryshev with the left-footed out-swinging ball. Oh, into a good area. It was headed by Juba down into the ground, but it bounced over the bar.
Yeah, you can see straight away. Muslera's been really aggressive. It's pushed him anyway there for me. But Muslera's been aggressive. He's coming and standing on the 6-yard box. Any in-swing he's going to get. Well,
we're watching there.
Yeah.
Coates and Juba, the two players the referee spoke to, and Coates has got an armful of his shirt.
It's a penalty.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
And again, you know, the VAR is watching that. I promise you, he'll have looked at that after that header goes over the bar, but they're not going to look at it again. It's a very, very dangerous game that Coates is playing there.
It wasn't quite the standard of foul that the Panama players were doing yesterday, I have to be honest. Yesterday against England.
Well, that was ridiculous.
He dragged him down and thumped him on the head as he went down as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that before. You're listening to Talk Sport. Uruguay 1, Russia 0 in the Samara Arena. And it'll be Cáceres down the right-hand side to take. One game for Southampton against Middlesbrough, May last year, 2017. Former Barca and Juve player, now at Lazio. He throws it out, looking for Bentancur, but he was very closely watched by Gazinski, and he gets it out to the right-hand side, and Smolnikov, who's come into the team at right back today, crosses halfway and rolls it into Juba. Godin holding as he tries to lay it off up to Miranchuk. His ball forward was disappointing. That's a brawny, bruising encounter between Juba and Godin.
He's a good target for them. I know he's big, but I mean, he's a good target because they can roll it into him. He sticks it, and then the lads coming up behind him have got to do better. I thought he did really well with that.
Russia coming forward again, inside left with Cheryshev. Tries to dig out the cross and not able to do so. He's just sliced that one behind. He thinks it's gone off the defender for a corner. He's actually walking to the corner flag to take the corner. The referee says goal kick.
Did it bounce back against him? I don't know. Did it have a double rebound, hit him and come back? I thought it was a corner kick. Has it come back on him and gone out?
Well, that should be a corner, I think, shouldn't it? Not sure. Anyway,
I think it's a corner.
The officials have said goal kick, hence the boos and jeers that you heard. Interesting one, Juba, because he's had his... Well, you mentioned earlier about the video with Coquelin when he didn't get called up to the... squad last time, and he made a video mocking the coach's moustache. Didn't start the first game. And he came off the bench and scored, started the second, scored again. And the coach hasn't cut off his nose despite his face there. Many would. Coming up to the 20-minute mark, Uruguay leading by 1-0 here.
You've got to play your players, and if he's the right one to pick, you've got to have a word with him. I think I might be seeking an apology off him, but
yes,
you know,
deal with it, move on.
Absolutely.
Look how deep Cavani is coming back here to try and get involved in the game, because the only time he's basically been on the ball so far was to get clattered. And so he's right back in his own half trying to get the ball here. And all he succeeded in doing was giving away a free kick. Meanwhile, there was a tread on the foot there, wasn't there, of, is it Cáceres? Goodness me, painful.
No, is it Nandez?
Isn't it Naitan Nandez who got his foot trodden on well? As we know, with these thin boots, that really hurts.
Oh, there's not a lot of protection there, that's for sure.
So yeah, anyone that says this game is rather meaningless needs to watch just how aggressive these sides are being. Of course, players have come into the team, 3 changes each, and those players will be desperate to make their mark to play in the next game. Full house, passionate crowd. There's a lot at stake here. Now that ricochet couldn't benefit Uruguay. Russia clear it in their left-back area, but it's a rather hasty clearance, that one from Ignacevic.
Yeah, it was Suarez that would have been offside if he'd gone for it, but Cavani went and fronted him up, and he's had to deal with it.
Still going strong at CSKA, Ignacevic. He's been offered a new contract for the new season. And there's another ball here for Uruguay. Kudryashov was convinced that that should have been his. There's a real tussle with Nandez on this right side for Uruguay. The decision went against the fullback. A free kick to Uruguay, right side of the penalty area.
The assistant wants it in the right position there, doesn't he? I think there was about 6 inches there between what he wanted and where it was.
Yeah, he's moved it forward a fraction. Half a ball's roll, probably. Oh, now we've got pushing and shoving in the other penalty area. The referee is saying, I'm watching. I'm keeping an eye on it. Here comes Nandez with the free kick. Cavani was on the near post going for something spectacular. Not sure how often that would fly in, but came off the defender last, and Uruguay have their first corner. It's a decent enough ball whipped in by Lucas Torreira, and in the end it was Juba.
Still some shirt pulling in that goal. You know, it's a tactic now though with the attacking team to run at somebody and, you know, hope he grabs you.
Yes.
Run into him, and you've almost got to stick your arms up and protect yourself.
It's like manufacturing a trip, isn't it? As Torreira plays in the corner, just too deep for everyone, comes out to the edge of the penalty area. Oh, it's been drilled in! They've got a second goal! Well, I think it's an OG. It might be Kutupov that's deflected that in. Uruguay don't care. From the corner, it was played out to the edge of the penalty area, and the drive took a deflection. The Uruguay fans are in raptures here. It is Uruguay 2, Russia 0.
Zuba got a good head on the first one. Didn't get any height on it though. It's just gone to the edge of the box. But when he struck it, I don't think he was in danger until it took the deflection.
Well, we'll get another look at this now. It's drilled out to about 25 yards out, and well, there's just no chance for the goalkeeper. Laxalt off Cheryshev, who was just trying to deflect it away. All he's done is deflect it into the corner of the net.
Yeah, I mean, he hit it straight at him. I don't think he can do anything about it. He stuck a leg out as you would as a player trying to block the shot. And what a wicked deflection. There's no chance of stopping that.
Cruel one for Russia. And they've got it all to do. Russia, if they're to avoid defeat here. In the other game, Mohamed Salah has scored for Egypt against Saudi Arabia. A lot of toing and froing before the game. He wasn't actually on the team sheet initially, Salah, but then he appeared, and of course that one is live right now over on TalkSport 2 if you want to listen to that. Here it's Uruguay 2, Russia 0. Suarez with a free kick, and then an own goal by Denis Cheryshev, who just got in the way of Laxalt's shot. And there was no chance at all for Akinfeev as the ball beat him at the near post. 2-0 to Uruguay. Laxalt down the left. Into Cavani again, dropping deep, picking the ball up and giving it away. And then because of that casual play, there was a trip in there, and it's a free kick to Russia just past the halfway line.
Well, Russia were being questioned, weren't they, about their ability before they came into this tournament. And the two games that they've won, and they won comfortably, but with the greatest respect to the opposition, nowhere near what Uruguay are. And now maybe we're seeing the difference when you come up against a real quality team, who, by the way, have changed their shape, but it's suited them.
Yeah.
They've been excellent so far.
Well, then you've got a situation, Mick, where Spain and Portugal will probably quite fancy facing Russia, and then they'll want to finish second in their group to face the top side in the other group.
You just seen the deflection there. Look at that. There's no chance whatsoever. It was going 10-15 yards wide.
He's actually made a block on the shot from just on the edge of the area, and it's clipped off the inside of his ankle and gone in the bottom corner. Unlucky one, really.
Well, that's an unusual one, a bit industrial for the Uruguayans.
I'm sure Laxalt will try to claim it, but might well be an OG, that one.
I don't think that if there's a special goals panel, that no way is he getting that.
No. They will take a look at it, I'm sure. Anyway, left-hand side, Russia have it with Kudryashov. Gets it back from Cheryshev, then plays it back over halfway to Ignashevich, the veteran of the side. Forward to Kudryashov again. There's another trip on him, this time from Nandez. The referee's got his work cut out here.
They're not holding back, are they?
No, they're not.
2-0 up, they really haven't. It's a good game.
It's Kutupov in the centre circle, playing it forward, right-footed, down the inside left. It's worked out to the left-hand side, and Zobnin plays it into Zhuba, edge of the area. He just tried to poke that through to Cheryshev, and there were enough defenders back to deal with the danger. There's another man down for Uruguay. They play on though, and it's Vecino running down the left. Again, players end up on the floor. The referee has to decide which challenge is going to penalise first.
I think he's gone back to the original one.
On Cavani, yeah. I think he has. And it certainly was a foul, and fair play to him for trying to play advantage. He's got the card out here. And I think it's Smolnikov who's yellow carded, joining Gazinski in the referee's notebook. Some of these games have been very easy for the referee because they've been free-flowing. This one, he's having to have eyes in the back of his head.
And he's just booked, you say he's booked Smolnikov for that?
Apparently so, yeah.
Oh.
Not the one on Cavani earlier. He has gone to that second challenge.
Yeah, but they've just taken it.
Anyway, Suarez, edge of the area, he's played it in, Bentancur is in, hits the goalkeeper, Cavani can't put it in. Suddenly they were 3-on-2 there, Uruguay, and Akinfeev was required to make 2 stops to prevent it being 3-0.
He's done well, the keeper. Their game over at that 3-0, it's completely over for me.
Huge chance for Bentancur on his 21st birthday, and Suarez and Cavani both lurking with intent as well. Akinfeev very much needed. Kudryashov down the left, midway inside opposition territory, gets it inside to Gazinski. He flips it out to the right-hand side, and Smolnikov back now to Gazinski again. Uruguay get everyone behind the ball as it's drilled diagonally right to left and to this near side, and Cheryshev running into the box, plays it back to Kudryashov, tries to hang it up to the far post, but Zhuba had gone near, and Laxalt will get it away.
Just the final ball, isn't it? And if they're looking at Zhuba, he was nowhere near that.
Oh, Laxalt has played it downfield. Suarez takes it on. Oh, he almost got past the last defender. That was just a big hoof downfield from the left back, and Suarez was so nearly in, and suddenly the game is ridiculously stretched as Zhuba picks it up, left-hand side of the box at the other end of the field, trying to get past Coates, who holds him off. There's no foul there, and Coates will clear, right-footed, down the line. Didn't make the most of that, really.
No, I don't know if Zhuba had anybody support with him there. I thought he had the left back coming up behind him, because he really needs to be. He gets the ball, holds it up, here's the long pass, nearly catches them out. 2 defenders sleeping. How often do you see that? 2 marking 1, he's in between them, the ball goes over the first one and he's in. Fortunately, he was too quick for him, Ignashevich.
Yeah, Ignashevich,
sorry.
He'd have been very concerned when he was up against Suarez in a foot race, because he's pushing 40, but he managed to get back. Wouldn't want to run it too many times, I wouldn't have thought.
He was pushing 40 miles an hour going back as well.
He was, wasn't he?
He should have scored there, shouldn't he? Bentancur had a good chance. Keeper's done well though.
Smolnikov infield to Gazinski. It's a cute little ball into the D, but again it's away by Torreira, and it's played down the line by Kutupov. Russia giving it a go here to try and get back in the game. Zobnin down the right, he's been tripped, and young Bentancur tracking Zobnin back, only succeeded in fouling him on the corner of the penalty area, just outside.
Are you booking him?
No chance of getting the ball there, is there?
No.
Just chopped him down. Half an hour gone. Uruguay 2, Russia 0 here on Talk Sport, your World Cup station. And possibly a chance here for Russia to halve the deficit. They'd love a goal back before half-time. Samedov over the ball. It's a couple of yards outside the right apex of the penalty area. We've seen already in this tournament, Samedov has got great delivery.
I'd like to see them score, Gary. It's a good game anyway, but if they get one back, they'll have a bit more to go for. I think they can get a draw at least.
That would certainly like the blue touch paper. They've got 6 to look for here. It's going to be Alexander Samedov to play it to the far post. Well, I knew if I gave him the build-up about his delivery, he'd let me down, and he has.
Commentators curse.
Proper curse. He's put that miles over everyone and out by the corner flag for a throw to Uruguay. A horrible delivery.
It's so disappointing, isn't it? You know, you get a free kick, they all get set up. And I'll go back to the England game when their free kicks, their corners. Certainly the corners have been right on the ball.
They've worked so hard on them, haven't they?
Yeah, but you know, you can have all the movement in the world and all the trickery and all that. You've got to put the ball where they're running to. And Semedo there has just kicked it down.
As a coach, it would drive you absolutely potty when you see that, because you're powerless, aren't you? You need a good delivery, and they certainly didn't get one. The ball's cleared up in the air by Uruguay, and they haven't really dealt with it. So Russia keep possession down the left with Kudryashov. It's been pinched back by Cavani, again dropping back to get involved in the game. Right-hand side, plays it right-footed inside.
Cavani and either of the strikers, whether it's Cavani and Suarez, they both play wide, so they both drop in. They become 3-4-3, you know, really solid when they haven't got the ball, and you'll find themselves in those wide positions. And then they've got Bentancur playing in behind them, but either of those can swap positions, either three of them.
Here's Cáceres down the right. What we haven't really seen is Suarez and Cavani linking up very often in this tournament. That's a dangerous proposition for anyone. We've got 12 minutes to the break.
Have they got a good relationship? Do we know?
Who knows?
I don't know.
And then they might have an ego, I'm not sure. It's Cavani with the layoff. They've gone straight out of play.
You just wonder sometimes when you get two really top strikers like that, whether, you know, they both want the ball, they both want to score, they both like to get the golden boot, they both want to be the top man. Doesn't always work out. They've got two great strikers and they play well together.
Well, they almost made a hash of that clearance, Russia. Ignashevich gave it away, but he was helped out by his teammates. They've won it back, and Cheryshev goes for this sweeping left-to-right ball, and he swept it a bit too hard because he wasn't able to keep it in play on that far side, was Smolnikov, so that'll be a throw to Uruguay down the left. And Laxalt, who's caught the eye already down that left side, plays for Genoa in Serie A. His trademark dreadlocks, plays it downfield. This time it doesn't find Luis Suarez. It's headed back to Akinfeev, and he sets Russia on their way. 11 minutes to half-time. Uruguay 2, Russia 0. Very entertaining so far. So the ball was played forward down the left for Russia to Kudryashov, helped on by Cheryshev. Zhuba goes for it. He's pushed his man over, and that'll be a free kick to Uruguay. He looks at the ref as if to say, what did I do? I mean, his natural game is physicality.
He was late getting there. He was too slow. He was beaten by a bit of pace there.
Lucas Torreira, the player who went to ground. And Uruguay in no hurry now. They quite happily get to half-time at 2-0 up. So the ball is put down, and their goalkeeper Muslera just ambles up towards the ball, boots it long down the right-hand side over the head of Cavani, who is being closely watched by Kudryashov, the Russian left-back. And it's out of play for a throw.
Suarez, though, we've seen him running for that. He's looking for the flick, running all the way across the line, man, all the way across. And he's unlucky. He almost got a foul there. It's a classic that. You nick it off the defender goes to clear it, and you kick the striker. Give a foul away.
Uruguay again down the left with Laxalt. Knocks it past the fullback, and he's quick. Laxalt, he's gone to ground. Now Smolnikov's already been booked. This is going to be a second yellow card, I think. He looks to the heavens. He's going to go here. Crazy defending from Igor Smolnikov. The hosts are down to 10 men. He's been booked again for a very similar challenge. And what an advantage for Uruguay with 9 minutes to half-time. They're 2-0 up, and they have an extra man.
It's just a ridiculous challenge. You know, he knows he's been booked. He knows that if he gets another one, and he's got to send him off. The referee's got it right. Straight away, I'm thinking if he has been booked, I knew he'd been booked, he's off. He's not happy about it either. What will Smolnikov think about it? It's a moment of madness. But in amongst all of this, you've got to keep calm. We've said before, this game doesn't really matter in terms of the result, in terms of them going through to the next round. And either way, it looks like Spain or Portugal, so it doesn't really matter. We'll be missing it now.
Well, he'll be suspended for the next game, as you say, Smolnikov, who only came in just to get some game time today. Mario Fernandes, their Brazilian-born right back, thought he was having a rest today, but now he's having to come on.
He's making a sub now as well, so not only does Smolnikov suffer from it, somebody else is going to suffer.
Yeah.
I don't know, they might go 4-4-1 up top.
Uruguay free kick. Tried to hoik it to the far post as Torreira got it horribly wrong. Suarez nowhere near it. So Mario Fernandes, the fullback I was talking about, who, as I say, probably thought he was going to get a rest today, having started the first 2 games, but he comes on here, and Denis Cheryshev, the unlucky man, who is substituted. I don't think he'll be thanking Smolnikov in the dressing room later.
No, he might be looking. He's played very well in this tournament, though. You wonder whether you think, well, he's going to play in the next game. Yeah. I'll take him off. I don't know. You never know what we're thinking, coaches, managers. You know, we can all look at it and think somewhat different. He's unlucky because he's done okay.
Well, it's all gone rather wrong for the hosts in this game. The crowd was so vociferous in the first few minutes, but they're 2-0 down, and now they're a man down as well. And the referee there, Malang Diédiou from Senegal, has got it absolutely spot on. Had no choice, really. And Uruguay now will, well, the likes of Suarez and Cavani are thinking, here's a chance to get some goals.
Yeah, you know what, Gary, it might prove harder to score against them now, because I'm not so sure they're going to throw the same amount of players forward. They look like they've gone to 2 banks of 4, and they've got Zuber up front.
Of course, if you're the Russian coach, you're thinking what we don't want here is to lose 4 or 5, because they've built up a lovely bit of momentum. They've got the country right behind them with those 2 wins.
Well, you know where you're going. You've had one sent off. You get beaten 2-0. You know, one's a good goal, one's a deflection. You're down to 10 men. If it stays at 2, you'll be thinking, you know, that's not so bad. If you get beat 5 or 6, that's a hard one for everybody to take.
Yeah. Things looking good for Uruguay, though, if they want to top the group. They need a win to do it, and they're in a fabulous position. Samedov down the right-hand side, challenged by Godin, fairly enough.
He tried his best to get a free kick, didn't he? He's holding on to it, look, he's desperate to be pushed. Go on, somebody kick me, somebody foul me.
Eventually went to ground by the corner flag, and nothing. And the ball played forward down the left for Uruguay, and straight out of play, actually, so that'll be a throw to Russia down the right. It's the man who's just come on, Mario Fernandes. Turned down Brazil at the age of 21, Fernandes. Now very much part of the Russian first 11 picture. Not too many turned down the Seleção.
I was going to say, I bet you've never said that too often, have you?
Absolutely.
Turn down Brazil.
As the ball was played inside by Uruguay in the centre circle with Bentancur. Right-footed ball out to the left. And Russia try and build again. Cavani right-footed back to the centre circle again.
He could make this game a non-event here. This could be, you know, 9 men behind the ball, not chasing it up here at all. It's going to be very hard for them to break on them, because Zuber can hold it up, but he's not got great legs in terms of getting up the pitch. And just not wanting to get done now by 4, 5, 6 goals.
And perhaps Uruguay thinking, well, let's conserve our energy for the last 16.
Yeah, they'll just try and pick a hole in them there. They want to keep hold of the ball, I would think.
We're 5 minutes away from the interval. Uruguay leading by 2-0, courtesy of the free kick from Suarez and the shot from Laxalt, which was deflected in cruelly by Cheryshev, who's since been subbed. Red card for Igor Smolnikov for 2 yellow card challenges. And they're jeering because Uruguay are just in possession in a non-threatening area, not doing anything with the ball, and there's no real impetus for Russia to go pressing. But Oscar Tabareth, the 71-year-old coach of Uruguay, who's got crutches at this tournament because he's got a bit of an injury himself at the moment, he'll be sitting there quite happy, I should think.
71.
Oldest in the tournament, yeah.
There's hope for some of those young things yet, then, isn't there?
Well, you can't buy experience, can you? Now, Uruguay 2, Russia 0. In the other game, we've already told you that Mohamed Salah has scored. Saudi Arabia have had a penalty saved, so it stays 1-0 to Egypt.
Zuba caught offside, wow. He's look.
That game, by the way, is over on TalkSport 2 right now. Yeah, Zuba flagged offside down the left-hand side. It could be a thankless task for him for the rest of the game.
I'm just trying to look and see whether Uruguay have changed. They know they've still got the 3 centre-backs, have they? They've gone to 2.
Well, it would certainly make sense to go to 4, wouldn't it?
It looks like they have. They've got the
stick Cáceres at right full-back.
There's the 2 centre-backs, I think they have.
Yeah, there's Coates and Godin.
Two sitting midfield players they have.
Yeah, Coates alongside Diego Godin, who has the ball now, the Uruguay captain. He rolls it into the centre circle, up towards Suarez, and there's a foul there by Bentancur on Samedov, just outside the centre circle, so that'll be a free kick to Russia. Of course, a lot of the pace, tempo and urgency has gone out of the game now since that red card, and you can just sense a little bit of flatness amongst the home support, understandably so. They need something to give them a lift.
Well, you know, equally we're saying about Uruguay saving their energy. Russia won't want to make this game an end-to-end game, so there's 10 men chasing, they're 9 outfield players chasing the ball and just be getting absolutely run into the ground. They won't want that. I'm telling you, I think they'll take this now.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ball played forward by Kudryashov down the left. That was a hopeful diagonal, really. Headed away. Zobnin picks it up, tries to lay it off for Zuba, who's certainly not a winger, and he needed to be to keep that in play. And it's behind for a goal kick.
You know, by all means, when they get up the pitch and they can keep it, they're going to go forward and try and score. But when Uruguay have got the ball, they'll just sit in, make it hard for them to play against, make it nice and tight. And I think if the referee blew the whistle now for 2-0, they'd be thrilled.
Both sets of players would be happy, yeah. Fans might feel a bit shortchanged.
Yeah, and it's not going to make it great viewing, unfortunately.
Interesting to see what the coaches do at half-time.
The third game, Gary, in every tournament that comes around, if you have a dead rubber, I know this wasn't, but see who could win the group. But you very often see some poor games.
Stinkers,
the third game, yeah.
Absolutely.
Stinkers is probably a better word for it, actually.
Laxalt plays it back to Godin. We're in the 45th minute here at the Samara Arena. That's Coates who gets it out to the right-hand side. Played in field by Uruguay. Out to Bentancur, who's been dispossessed. He's had a disappointing half, really, the young man, after starting the tournament so well. He'll hope for better in the second half. Godin plays it up towards the edge of the centre circle, and Cavani tries to turn but is dispossessed, then has to come back to try and win it back, which he does. And there's no real urgency from Zuba to run forward again.
You see, even Uruguay have got these technically good players. How difficult it is when 9 of them have just dropped off and said, right, have the ball, try and play through us, we're going to be nice and narrow, nice and tight, get no depth, they can't play around you, through you. It's just, and they slow it down, and of course once they slow the ball down and the momentum goes out of it, the pace out of the passing, it is so tough.
Yeah. We're into 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half here. Luis Suarez with his back to goal, lays it off. Bentancur goes back to Nandez. Now Cáceres down the right.
You need the opposition to attack you. You need the opposition to press you so they can play around you. It's not happening.
They're not really interested in doing that, understandably so, in the circumstances. It's Uruguayan possession with Nandez down the right-hand side. Big burst of acceleration, but Zobnin tracks him back, the screening midfielder, and gets tripped from behind, so it's a free kick to Russia.
I think he went down. I'm not sure he'd have got a penalty if he'd been going through for that one. In fact,
easier to give a free kick, isn't it, to the opposition in the penalty area?
Oh, that could have gone to VAR, and it would have been. I thought he'd thrown himself to the ground, but
he's certainly bought that one.
Yeah.
1 minute of stoppage time gone, and Igor Akinfeev will take the free kick over halfway. Zuba tries to help it on, but to no one in particular. and it's Kudryashov who picks it up. We're in the second minute of stoppage time here. Uruguay leading by 2-0, and you wouldn't be at all surprised if that was the full-time score as well, the way things have gone since the red card. Big booming clearance from Akinfeev. Juba with a lovely touch to lay it off down the left. It's rolled inside. Can they make something happen here? Cathares steps in and prevents anything from happening for Russia, and that's where they'll try and hit them on the counter. The eventual ball in field for Uruguay was a disappointing one, and it ends up at the foot of Zobnin, who goes back to Akinfeev. He kicks along left-footed up to the halfway line. Last attack this of the half. It's Samedov inside right, out to the right-hand side again, goes for the return ball, right side of the area. Can they get the cross in here, Russia? Corner of the penalty area, laid off to Moranchuk. I'm not sure if they realise we're right at the end of the half. The cross doesn't come in and the half-time whistle goes. So, Uruguay in complete control here. Luis Suarez with a free kick from the edge of the box, drilled low past Akinfeev for 1-0. Laxalt from the other side of the penalty area, drilling low off Cheryshev and into the other corner past Akinfeev for an OG, and then a couple of moments of madness from the right-back Smolnikov to get himself sent off, 2 yellows, and since then it's a bit of a game of chess. Uruguay, as things stand, topping the group. At half-time it is Uruguay 2, Russia 0.
Well, that went well for Russia, didn't it? Don't forget, the team that finishes top of this group will finish the team that finishes second in Group B, and that's tonight's games for you here on TalkSport will be the ultimate games in that group. At 7 o'clock here on TalkSport you can hear Iran against Portugal from the Mordovia Arena. Meanwhile, over on TalkSport 2 you can hear Spain against Morocco from Kaliningrad. And tomorrow, once again, TalkSport brings you, the TalkSport Network brings you all 4 of the live games. In Group C, it's Denmark against France at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, live here on TalkSport. While over on TalkSport 2, Australia take on Peru. And then in Group D in the evening, huge game live here on TalkSport, Nigeria versus Argentina. Meanwhile, over on TalkSport 2, we'll keep you across, well, full commentary actually, of Iceland against Croatia. Once again, TalkSport is your home of live football. I should tell you that in the other game in this group, Egypt are winning by 1-0 at half-time, and it was Mohamed Salah who got that goal after all the controversy. It's not quite half-time, I should say, they're still on the pitch, but it is 1-0 to Egypt. Mo Salah with the goal after all the controversy in the build-up to the game, where first of all he was not in the starting 11, and then whatever happened, it could have been something as simple as a clerical oversight. It could have been a massive row, I don't know, but Salah started the game and he has given the Egyptians the lead as they head towards half-time in that one. So I'd say plenty still to come here on World Cup Live. Now let's get some half-time thoughts with the Co-op.
Half-time on TalkSport with the Co-op. Grab all you need for the match with the Co-op's 3 for 2 on summer sharers. Football's better together at the Co-op.
Yeah, Mick McCarthy's been watching the game for us, and Mick, you could say the first time Russia meet a half-decent team it all goes a bit wrong, or you could say they've definitely contributed to their own downfall.
A bit of both. I was the first 2 games they played well, scored lots of goals. I was never convinced, having come into the tournament with so much negativity, and they've gained the positivity with the 2 really good results. But they've come up against a much better team here today. But yeah, the red card's not good, that can't help at all. And one's a deflection. It's just gone wrong for them.
Yes,
it has just gone wrong. I mean, 2 coaches. So the Russia coach, I'd be saying, whatever you do, what you don't want to do is lose your discipline, get beat by 4 or 5. We've gained this positivity. So we've had 1 sent off. We've had a deflection. You could put all the blame on all of that. It's not gone right for us today, but prior to that it's been great. Uruguay, I think he'll be in there and he'll be getting stuck into them because they're starting to move the ball slowly and it's all become very methodical. And right at the end of the game there, Russia were just getting a bit of a head of steam up.
And the crowd were getting back behind them.
Yeah, you know, if you give a free kick away, a corner kick, they can always score from that. You only need to want to have a bad tackle and make it 10-all just because they've took the tempo out of the game. Do it properly and go and finish them off. At least keep them under the pressure. If it ends up 2-0, it ends up 2-0, but don't take your foot off the gas.
I mean, we'll talk about the goals in a second, Mick, but I think we have to name names here. Igor Smolnikov, and I'm sure you've made mistakes as a player, Mick, and you've watched your own players as a manager make mistakes. He'd been booked for an almost identical tackle when he got alongside Rodrigo Betancourt. What goes through the man's mind? Do it again.
I have no idea.
No, why would you know?
Because I've been that soldier, believe me. Then you think, why did I do that? I have no idea. You think you can get the ball. You know, you're getting frustrated. It's all going wrong, and you want to put a good tackle on him, and then he'll look back at that and think he'd no chance of getting the ball. He'd been beaten. So for the life of me, I've no idea why he did it, and it's cost his team today, and it's going to cost him his place in the next game if he got a chance.
Yeah, and I guess the tone of the game was changed by the very early goal for Luis Suarez. And we mentioned before the game, of course, Suarez and Cavani, they don't actually, they don't need team goals. It'll be a free kick. Something will happen. And there it was. And after that, the Russians were always kind of chasing the game.
Yeah, but Danny, Juba, what was Juba doing at the free kick?
Just describe that to people who weren't with us from the very start of the game.
Quite, they set a free kick up, they've got a 4 or 5 man wall. Uruguay have put 2 men at the end of the wall, and you know what they're going to do. They're just going to move. The keeper stood behind. He's going to try and smash it at them, and it might take a deflection. It might just fly in the net. But Juba took it upon himself to push these 2 out of the way, and he ran out of the way. So there's 3 of them gone, and he just buries it in the bottom corner. It was ridiculous. Completely ridiculous.
Nearly all of Russia's problems here have been self-inflicted. We'll see what happens in the second half. Thank you very, very much, Mick. Let me just say that, of course, you can never predict football. Saudi Arabia equalised before half-time. Egypt won, Saudi Arabia won, and that on the back of Saudi Arabia. It was a penalty, incidentally. The second penalty of the game for the Saudis, who missed the first, or rather, I should say, for historic reasons, it was saved by the Egyptian goalkeeper, SM El Hadari, at 45 years and 6 months. The oldest player ever to play in a World Cup match has saved a penalty, but it remains a goal apiece in that game between Egypt and Saudi Arabia. That was a look back at the first half with the Co-op. Football is better together with the Co-op.
Half-time on TalkSport with the Co-op. Snacks for the football and refreshments all round. Result: football's better together at the Co-op.
Yes, second half of Uruguay against Russia coming up very, very soon here on TalkSport on World Cup Live. Here is a really rotten first half for the hosts.
Half a yard outside the box, just left of centre. Luis Suarez, right-footed, brilliant goal! Oh, he is the man, Luis Suarez, with his second goal of the tournament. He drilled it low into the far corner. It wasn't too close to goal for him, was it? 10th minute, Uruguay 1, Russia 0. Uruguay had 2 men in the wall looking to disrupt things. One of them was Cavani, but actually it was Juba who pushed those 2 out of the way and made a huge hole. And Suarez put it through it. I don't think I've ever seen defending like that before. As Torreira plays in the corner, just too deep for everyone, comes out to the edge of the penalty area. Oh, it's been drilled in! They've got a second goal! Well, I think it's an OG. It might be Kutupov that's deflected that in. The Uruguay fans are in raptures here. It is Uruguay 2, Russia 0. Uruguay again down the left with Laxalt. Knocks it past the fullback and he's quick. Laxalt, he's gone to ground. Now Smolnikov's already been booked. This is going to be a second yellow card, I think. He looks to the heavens, he's going to go here. Crazy defending from Igor Smolnikov. The hosts are down to 10 men. He's been booked again for a very similar challenge. And what an advantage for Uruguay with 9 minutes to half-time. They're 2-0 up and they have an extra man.
In Bedfordshire, the M1 southbound reports for lane shut for a broken down horse box between junctions 13 and 12.
Long live TalkSport's football revolution!
The 2018 FIFA World Cup, Russia.
Follow the true path and listen to glorious radio station
TalkSport. Tournament football can be unpredictable. So for all World Cup matches, back a team to win, and if they go 2 goals up at any point, Paddy Power will pay out as a winner immediately, whatever happens next. A wonder goal from a teenager. A random headbutt from a Frenchman. A hungry Uruguayan. Whatever. Go 2 up and nothing gets in the way of your winnings. Paddy Power. Enough of the nonsense. Applies to pre-match win, draw, win singles only. Not available in shops. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Check their reputation. Check their insurance. Check their background. Check how much time you're wasting on all of this when you could be watching the football instead. Or just go to checkertrade.com and do it all in one. Exactly. When you need someone to do a job around your home, checkertrade.com should be the first place you go. Visit checkertrade.com, where reputation matters.
Checkertrade.com.
The World Cup is all about fans. From the die-hard obsessives, the Spanish, Brazilians and the English, to the pure blind optimists, the Panamanians, Peruvians and, of course, the English. Every World Cup day, Yahoo Sport presents The 32. Stars and experts join fans from every one of the 32 World Cup nations for previews, analysis and opinion. 32 nations, 32 fans, 32 days. The 32 on Yahoo Sport.
And here at the Construction Site Cup, the contractor team is down to 10 men. But wait, they're bringing on a super subby. A few, in fact. Brickies, Sparkies, Chippies. What a hat trick! Looks like this contractor and these subcontractors used some great tactics and went to supersubby.com, where contractors find subbies and subbies find contractors by skills, location and trade. It's free for subbies with a 3-month free trial for contractors. So download the free app or visit supersubby.com. Super Subby, the new smarter way to find site work or workers.
Philip Schofield here. I love that with WeBuyAnyCar.com you could find out what your car's worth in 60 seconds. Then you can get back to doing whatever you were doing, like your hedge trimming. You can't see, but I've sculpted a flamingo mid-flight, and I'm pretty pleased with it. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Expect to build your own car deal online, anytime, at arnoldclark.com. Expect over 200 branches nationwide. Expect to choose from over 20,000 cars. And expect the UK's best used car deals, guaranteed.
Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Expect the Arnold Clark experience. Visit arnoldclark.com.
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
Looking for a wide range of plasterboard? Well, Selco's got it. Want to know that it's in stock? Selco's got it. Want trade prices too? Yep, Selco's got it. A massive range and huge stocks of specialist and performance plasterboards, all at great trade prices. Selco's got it. See selcobw.com to find your nearest branch. Got it?
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
The World Cup, the biggest stage for upsets, passion and opportunity. Your gut says to take advantage of every game, and your smarts say where to go. Because Betfair have had the best odds on the World Cup, so you always get the most from your bet. Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts.
Data provided by TX Odds and BetRadar, based on Betfair Sportsbook average match odds over round since 12th of March 2018. Full terms at betfair.com, 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
The 2018 FIFA World Cup, Russia.
From Russia, with goals.
World Cup live on TalkSport.
Yeah, and of course, when we finish with these Group A matches, TalkSport will begin its build-up to the 7 o'clock kickoffs when Iran take on Portugal and Spain play Morocco.
Iran versus Portugal, kickoff 7 p.m. on TalkSport.
It's played into the far post. They have done it. I do not believe it. With only seconds to go, substitute Mahdi Taremi has given Iran the lead, and this might be a moment of history. This one taken short, so it's an away swing delivery, and Ronaldo scores with his first touch of the game. A diving header that makes history. Goal number 85 for Cristiano Ronaldo. Another one-dimensional Portuguese performance, but it leaves them top of Group B with 4 points.
Spain versus Morocco, kickoff 7 p.m. on TalkSport 2.
Back to Iniesta, he's done well to beat his man there, just outside the penalty area. Lays it off to Diego Costa! And Spain have taken the lead at last. And there goes the final
whistle. Spain have their first victory of the 2018 World Cup.
And Morocco, as valiant as they have been, are the first team eliminated from the World Cup.
Turn it up.
Yeah, don't forget, 7 o'clock tonight, Iran against Portugal from the Moldova Stadium here, live on Talk Sport. And from Kaliningrad, we're on Talk Sport 2, it's Spain against Morocco. Meanwhile, you're listening to Uruguay against Russia on Talk Sport with Toolstation. Visit toolstation.com to buy today or to find your nearest branch. Meanwhile, back at the game that we're covering, Uruguay against Russia, Mick McCarthy, in view of the circumstances, host nation, 10 men, result not really hugely important. A funny old team talk for the managers of both Russia and Uruguay in the last few minutes.
Yeah, well, I said Russia, the through to the next round is what they wanted, and nobody thought they were going to do it, so that they've achieved that. Don't be daft. Don't get beat by 5 or 6, because then the headlines will be awful in Russian, and all the talk will be different. They've got no chance in the next game. I mean, they're playing Spain or Portugal, so that might be the case anyway. And Uruguay, keep going. Go and try and get another goal. Don't let them off the hook. Don't give a free kick or a corner away, or one of you gets sent off. Keep the tempo. Try and go and beat them by 4 or 5. The opposite of what the Russian coach is saying, of course.
Thank you very much, Mick McCarthy. Let's get back to the live action. We'll be hearing from the Belgium camp a little later on, but here's Gary Taphouse.
Thank you, Danny. Second half just underway, with Uruguay playing from right to left in their light blue jerseys, black shorts and black socks. Remember, Russia down to 10 men following the red card for Smolnikov, so plenty of opportunity here, you would think, for Uruguay, who've never won all 3 group games before at the World Cup. They surely will here, as Suarez picks it up and is brought down about 3 yards outside the D. His first touch wasn't great, actually, but the defender made it easy for him. It was a simple task for Suarez to go over once Kutupov left his foot in.
It's that poor first touch that brings the foul, because
yes.
If he'd have got it under control, the defender wouldn't have done it. He's knocked it away from himself, and then he's gone after it, and the defender thinks he can nick it, and of course he's kicked him.
Well, there's been a conversation between Suarez and Cavani here, and Suarez has already scored a free kick in this game, of course. Cavani couldn't get to the ball quick enough once the free kick had been given, and I think he's thinking, this is a chance for me to open my account in the tournament. I mentioned before, 2 in 14 World Cup games. Disappointing for a player of his quality. The wall is going to be inside the penalty area. Well, that's bizarre, because the referee's drawn a line with the fake snow outside the area, and has then drawn a second line, having moved the ball. So
I have to apologise, Gary. It was Ignashevich, wasn't it, that pushed the 2 guys out of the wall? It wasn't Zuba.
It's Cavani right-footed straight into that wall. I think it might well have hit Zuba in the wall. Yes, when we looked at it another time, it was Ignashevich, wasn't it, who nudged the 2 players out of the way, creating the hole for Suarez. Crazy defending for a player of his...
Well, I got his name wrong, but not quite as badly wrong as he got.
No, that's right. He got it wrong much worse. Absolutely crazy. Godin with the layoff. So it's given away by Uruguay. And once it's pumped forward by Russia, no one shows any great urgency to try and get on the ball. And Uruguay have it. They've gone back to the formation that they started the tournament with a back 4. It's not quite an orthodox 4-4-2, because they don't have anyone really who's a natural left winger, so they're relying on Laxalt to push forward down that left side. It's a narrow midfield, and then Cavani and Suarez up front. And one of them usually drops off, usually Suarez.
Yeah, you find one of the midfield players as well. If Laxalt goes forward, one of the midfield players will slide in behind him and just give him that cover.
Russia essentially now 4-4-1, and it's a long half coming up for Zuba.
It's a long half coming up for you as well, Gary. You're trying to make it interesting. Sorry, guys.
We'll make it sing, Mick. We'll make it sing. Edge of the centre circle. Uruguay have it with Vecino. Right-footed ball out to the left for Suarez, who lays it off for Bentancur. He can't keep the ball, and that's partly because of some very good defending by Russia. And it'll be a free kick, I think, just outside the penalty area. 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to Talk Sport. Uruguay 2, Russia 0. Remember, the other game in this group between Egypt and Saudi Arabia is live over on Talk Sport 2 right now. It's Bentancur who was challenged by Samedov, and that's an easy decision for the referee again. Another free kick to Uruguay, to Russia, should I say. Akinfeev takes in the right back area, long diagonal ball up towards Zuber on the edge of the penalty area. He did actually get a slight touch on that, hoping that someone would join him. Miranchuk did, but belatedly, and it runs straight through to Muslera.
I'm afraid that might be their best way forward of getting something out of this game, by playing up and off Zuber and getting a runner and maybe getting a free kick or getting something edge of the box, because they can't get a press on and win it back. So they have to wait until Uruguay pretty much get into their half and then win it back. And then it's difficult for them to get up the pitch.
Blacks out for the Uruguayans, leading here by 2-0. Goes back to Torreira, forward by Hernandez, up to Vecino, who goes out to the right-hand side, and Cáceres. Back to Matias Vecino again. He's looking to play that early ball into the penalty area. Bentancur made the run, but it was too much on it, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
It was a great run off the back of the defenders. I was thinking when we talked about being interesting, it's up to Uruguay to make it interesting for sure. I said Russia are not going to be adventurous at all. They'll sit in, try and... I said half-time they took 2-0. I'm certain they will now. Just don't get slapped.
Yeah, totally agree. Zuber with the little layoff. It'll be cleared by Laxalt. Oh, there was a coming together there. The referee had a look. He was going to give the free kick to Russia. He played an advantage. It was given away by Fernandez, and so he has given the free kick.
I thought he looked at it. He went for the free kick. I don't think that's a free kick.
Well, the referee has pulled it back, and it's about 45 yards from goal down the right-hand side. And well, we've already seen one free kick from Samedov, which was pretty hopeless by his standards. Can he do better with this one? It's a chance to just curl it diagonally into the box. There's a huge crowd of players on the edge of the penalty area here with 51 minutes gone on Talk Sport. Uruguay 2, Russia 0. Final group games in Group A. And it'll be Samedov, right-footed high to the far post. He's done the same thing again. I can't quite believe I'm saying it, but it's actually gone behind again for a goal kick.
It's an awful delivery. The referee, I've seen him before, he goes in and tells the players when they're going to stand offside that he's watching them, that whether they're going to stand offside and they block the defender running back into the box. It makes no odds though if you get that kind of delivery, because there's no chance. You're never going to score off it.
One thing that Oscar Tabarev might be thinking about is changes himself. With the game, you would think virtually won. Chance for some of the other players in the squad to get some game time ahead of the last 16. He certainly sent them all out to have a warm-up. 7 minutes gone in the second half at a packed Samara Arena. Very impressive stadium. Here's Cavani from the flick on, but he's not getting much joy in this match.
He pulled him back.
Yeah, a pull back on Kutupov. And a free kick to Russia, just on the edge of their penalty area, down the left-hand side. No real urgency in the game.
You know, you think about Uruguay, you think, go on and take. They're not bothered. They need Russia to be urgent. They need. It's got to be two of them. We see it even in games when one team just sits off. It makes it really difficult to play against them.
Here's Zuber at the top of the centre circle. He's held it up really well there. There's plenty of white shirts forward if they can work this right. They haven't had much possession so far in the second half. That ball's whipped to this near side, and Mario Fernandez just guides it down the line to Samedov, back to Fernandez. The two exchange passes. Is there a cross at the end of it? Fernandez again. He's played the ball nicely towards the dead ball line. The cross comes in, which is less than convincing, but I think it did actually go behind. Yeah, it did actually go behind, so it'll be a goal kick. And, Russia, by the way, did actually bring on Dala Kuzayev of Zenit a moment or two ago. So it was him that actually tried to get that cross in. Carried it out of play, so it'd be a goal kick to
It would
Uruguay.
be great if we could get a goal.
That would be nice.
It would be fantastic for all of us, for the crowd there, I mean for Russia, but just for the game itself.
Well, I wonder which way it would go if there was one. Torreira, whose dad is working here for radio as a local reporter. He'll be in the press box watching his son, leading Russia by 2-0. Plays it forward up to the top of the centre circle, and Bentancur with a good incisive pass, getting it up to Vecino. His layoff wasn't so good. They got it again with Torreira. Suarez with a lovely dummy. His strike partner could return it to him.
There's the first bit of link-up between the two strikers. Suarez has gone for the first one, let it run, spun into the box, and he couldn't get the ball back. So he got blocked the ball back to him, but a nice little bit of link-up there.
More of that, please, from Uruguay. It's played forward by Kutepov, the centre-back, down the right side.
Combination play, as they call it.
Certainly they can do that, those two. We did see it in the last game, but only fleetingly. I'd like to see a little bit more of it. Zobnin, just past the centre circle, gets it out to that left side for Russia. And Miranchuk, who's trying to hold off Naitan Nandez. Well, he's gone to ground, there's no foul. Nandez is livid, the referee says play on, and Russia do exactly that. But Laxalt steps in to intercept. He's given it away to Fernandez. Zuba back to right back. Fernandez tries to get it out to the right side, to the left side. And I think they're probably saying to Fernandez, you needed to have a go yourself there. There was nothing to your left. And in the end, he just gave it away. Now, that's the most adventurous we've seen from Russia since the interval.
This is funny. Trying to head the ball. I know he might have kicked him in the head, but he's put his head there. I don't think he didn't intentionally do it.
He's tried to trip him over with his head.
He's a little tough guy, Nandez, actually. I've been impressed with him. He gets about and does his job. He's, that right side of midfield there.
It's Russia with the long ball up to Zuba. You know he's going to win most of those. It's whether or not anyone can support him. And the frustration grows because he pulls back Torreira. And that'll be a free kick. Good chest trap, but then suddenly he finds himself surrounded. And Uruguay clear down the left-hand side. Laxalt infield to Miranchuk into the centre circle.
Funny guy, you start to see poor passes and poor touches and things that when it's done at full speed they do it far better. You'd think if they could do it slowly, it doesn't. You've got to be doing it at full tilt and concentrating.
The Fernandez to clear right side for Russia. Long ball over the top, straight to the Uruguayan captain, Godin.
I don't think he'll be getting Zuba running in the channel for that one at this stage. Why would you?
Absolutely not. But 2 banks of 4 with Zuba up top. And they're saying to Uruguay, I think you can pick some space between the lines. Go ahead and try. And it's easier said than done. When they don't have any real attacking intent at all, Russia. It's centre circle with Coates, forward to Bentancur, out to Cáceres, down the right hand side. Nandez now inside to Bentancur again. Russia being disciplined, holding that shape. Uruguay just trying to tempt them to push up a little bit, but they're not keen to do that. And Godin joins the attack now. Right-footed from him to Laxalt, left side. No room on the outside, so he goes back into Bentancur, tries to thread it through the centre, and that's where the patience ran out, and Russia just swatted away.
Yeah, I thought Nandez had made a great run there as well. I thought he might have just clipped it over the full-back's head. And he tried to play it down, play it narrow, play it into there where all the bodies are, and it's being blocked.
And then you're just relying on a mistake, really, aren't you, once it's a low ball through the middle. Godin on halfway. If you're just joining us, it's Talk Sport at the World Cup. Uruguay 2, Russia 0, as we begin the final round of group games. Uruguay coming forward, edge of the area. Cáceres lays it off. Bentancur shoots. It's blocked. He goes for the second ball. Excellent defending by Miranchuk to hold him off. And then in his keenness to try and get on the ball a third time, the young man has fouled Zobnin, and that's a free kick to Russia.
Yeah, there's a shoulder charge there.
Zobnin tried to foul him, but the damage had already been done. But it stays 2-0. The red card earlier was for Igor Smolnikov for 2 identical yellow card challenges, and it really has changed the whole game. Russia have almost decided we'll take this and move on to the last 16, and you can't blame them.
It's not a competition anymore, is it?
No.
You know, Argentina are winning 2-0, and I think both teams are happy with it. Don't get me wrong, Russia are not saying, oh, we're happy we're getting beat 2-0, but why make it any worse? They're not going to do.
Remember, later we'll see how Group B finishes, because Iran against Portugal is live here on TalkSport from 7, and then Spain-Morocco on TalkSport 2. Now they're going to make a change up front here, Russia, and Miranchuk, who's been supporting Juba, goes off, and it is an out-and-out forward coming on in Fedor Smolov of Krasnodar, who started the first game against Saudi Arabia, since found himself on the bench. But that's as much as the Russian coach can do. He's made all 3 changes. Interesting to see whether or not he actually goes up as a 2. It's Fernandez down the right-hand side, gets the return ball from Samedov. Gets the return again, Samedov from Kuzayev, edge of the penalty area. Russia looking to fashion something here. Smolov, who's just come on, looks for Juba, who was caught flat-footed, and Cáceres gets it away.
This is what Uruguay want. Oh,
now.
He's toe-poked it with his left foot. He's tried to pass it and he's missed it.
And Suarez has gone over, there's no foul. An hour gone, Russia come forward down the left-hand side. It's played in field to Samedov. He goes out to the left, and there's a chance here because they've got both strikers in the centre. Can they play the cross in? It's hoiked too far yet again. Juba unhappy with the service. That time it was Zobnin who overhit it.
I was making the point that they want Russia to come out and attack them, and so they can break them. But Suarez there went to hit it, but he just toe-poked it with his left foot first, and he missed it completely.
Well, I think Georgian de Arrascaeta is going to come on.
It's a pity they don't need this result to go through. You know, the team with 10 men, because the team with 10 men, they will be having a right go at it. But, you know, they're both through, so it doesn't really matter. They'll continue to try and score, but with that, there's a coach getting the crowd going.
Fernandez gets it forward to Juba. Juba's dived in on Godin. And the referee's assistant on this near side has given the decision against the Russian centre-forward, who looks at the linesman and says, seriously, me? But it's gone against him, and you can see why when we watch the replay.
He doesn't agree with you. Or the coach.
Neither does the Russian coach. So, free kick.
I do think the defenders get in there. The two of them are getting there together. It's the defender that's gone down. I'm not so certain. You know, they said before about the defender running the box, where the striker would have got it, and that's another one the opposite way around. The defender's got that one.
Change here then. Vincent Kaur, who was shown the yellow card there, and was immediately subbed. So his 21st birthday appearance comes to an end, and on in his place is the 24-year-old De Arrascaeta, who plays his club football with Cruzeiro in Brazil, and has the honour of wearing the number 10 shirt for Uruguay, as worn by the iconic Diego Forlan.
Well, if he's done it for that reason, Gary, it's a good decision. Just take him off. Don't risk him getting booked again.
It's Uruguay coming forward down the right-hand side. Cáceres lays off to Nandez. Right-footed ball in field, and it's slid down the right channel. Suarez was hoping to get on the end of that from Nandez, but it was played in front of Luis Suarez, and that allowed Russia to get it away. He shows his frustration.
It's a poor ball. He's got to roll that across the front of everybody. They're all running towards the goal. The defender might put it in. The real poor ball.
Uruguay 2, Russia 0 here on your World Cup station, TalkSport. 63 gone. No change to the half-time score. In fact, it's been 2-0 since the 23rd minute of the game. And it's Laxalt down the left, who rolls it inside to De Arrascaeta. Intelligent ball from him to Cáceres. The right back resists the temptation to cross it. Plays it back to Nandes, edge of the D. He's poked it through. It's Cavani, who's surely offside. Well, the flag stayed down. There was a coming together with the defender. And there's no penalty. Instead, it's a free kick to Russia outside the box.
I thought he was offside, but he's not. No. And Nandes kept going. He was trying to get on the end of it.
Well, there was a challenge from Ignashevich on Cavani. I think Cavani thought he had more time than he really did. And that's just good defending, really, isn't it?
Yeah, he's stuck his leg out trying to block him, isn't he? That's, you know, he's tried to hold up. He's put his leg out to try and block the defender. Ignashevich, he's got in, good tackle.
Definitely needs a goal, Cavani. Not for any other reason. It's just that he hasn't done it in World Cups so far. El Matador, no denying his pedigree and his quality. His stats tell you everything.
What's great about VAR, they can't really complain now because they know it's there. Except Neymar could, of course, when he went down in the last game I saw him play, and he was quite clearly it was cheating.
Yep.
And
it went against him.
And it went against him, and he was still whinging to the keeper and everybody that he'd been fouled. You know, the whole world can see it wasn't one.
I think that one decision, Mick, actually turned a lot of people onto VAR because the referee looked at it and said, no, actually, it's not a penalty. You've dived.
And when it happened, now it penalty. I thought the defender had caught him.
It's Russia down the left with Smolov. The third Russian substitute lays it off for Zobnin. Left side of the penalty area, there's the cross, it's behind Zuba. Fernandez, edge of the area, couldn't get the shot away because Laxalt was in his way. Tries to lay it off. Down the right for Semedo. And that's good defending from Uruguay. They prevented both the shot and the cross. Fernandez takes the throw to Semedo. Back to Mario Fernandez again. Nudges it back to Semedo. There's the cross this time, deep towards Zuba. Wins the header. No one there though, he just cushioned it down. Smolov was behind him and wasn't able to get the shot away. And then the ball's played up to the halfway line where Luis Suarez is bundled off the ball by Ignashevich.
Well, he wins his head. There's a man down, aren't they? Otherwise they may have another midfield player up behind it, one at the edge of the box. He's certainly a threat. He's the big threat in the air. I know he's a big man, but he does it well as well. You know, sometimes they're not as good in the air as the size suggests. He is.
Laxalt down the left for the Uruguayans, leading here by 2-0 on TalkSport. The other match in the group, still 1-0 to Egypt. That's live over on TalkSport 2 right now. And the two games in Group B coming up later across the TalkSport network. They kick off at 7. Iran-Portugal here on TalkSport. Spain-Morocco on TalkSport 2.
You just seen that there, Gary. Nandes is trying to... sorry, on the attack. Sorry, Nandes is trying to thread a ball there through a gap that he couldn't get it. And I can't tell you how frustrating it is when a team's sitting in and you've got the 11 men, and I'll tell you, you're all feeling bad about it. You can't get yourself going. The coach is going balmy, the fans wanting to get going. And it doesn't happen because the other team are not pressing you. And you need it to be a competition to play at your very best. And then you try and thread a ball, and of course it doesn't get there, and they're on the attack, and it just becomes a little bit end-to-end.
Teams do work in this on training, don't they? Attack against defence, and one man up, one man down.
10 men.
Doesn't make it any easier once it happens in a competition.
I say it becomes harder to score against them.
Yeah.
They need them up the pitch and attacking, and how many goals do you see you catch them on the break? Not when everybody's in their half.
Well, that's the midway point of the second half, with very little goal-mouth action since the break so far. Uruguay would love a third goal just to really cement the victory. Godin hoiking it goalwards from the halfway line. That tells you something about the frustration being felt by the Uruguayan players. He has actually gone for goal there, I fancy. With a chest, well, it's not even a chest, he's volleyed it full on the volley from halfway, and it's only landed 3 or 4 yards wide.
If he tells me he's gone for goal with that, that's outrageous.
He's 8 goals for his country, has Diego Godin. This is his 120th cap. Still going strong at 32.
I'm just looking at Torreira there, the little sitter just stood right in front of Juba.
This is Cavani. He's run into the penalty area on his right foot, shoots, doesn't get the curl into the far corner that he wanted. The ball went the other way and he pounds the turf in frustration. Credit to Kutupov for preventing him getting that shot on target.
No, he didn't wrap his foot round it, did he? Never looked like doing it, actually. Very frustrated. He's not... you know, we said, you mentioned, you'd think the two lads up front would be thinking, oh, 10 men, we make some goals. It's actually been worse. They've had less play, they've had less chances.
Yep, absolutely right. Juba, again, penalised, again, angry with the referee, but he has just barged straight into the back of Godin there. And it was a good spot from the referee.
Godin's double cute, though, let me tell you. He feels him and he falls away. He doesn't stand his ground and fight him and try and jump. He's just let he's bought it, you know. Very clever.
Brilliant, brilliant centre-back, isn't he? And has been for many years. And it's a great partnership he has with Jimenez, much younger, who not playing today, but I'm sure he will play in the last 16. It's Fernandez for Russia, laying it inside. Could they get the shot away here with Zobnin? It's spooned up in the air. Down goes Juba, holding his face under the challenge of Godin. Referee happy for play to go on. Juba is still down, and now the referee will blow the whistle. And Russia are asking the question of the referee, was that a foul in the penalty area?
Well, I hope... No.
He catches him, but there's no way that's a foul. Yeah. And Zuba's being helped back to his feet by Godin, who's explaining what happened. Now, though...
Godin's saying, yeah, I threw my elbow, but I didn't mean to hit it in the face.
The VAR is looking at this, but I don't think he'll give a penalty for that.
Oh, no, I would hope not.
They're in communication. Obviously, Cherchesov, the Russian coach, wants one. And he's made an elbow action to the fourth official to say, come on, that was a foul, but I don't think so. They've had a look at it, they've decided it's fine, and rightly so.
Well, the fact that Zuba's sort of jumping aggressively as well into him, he just jumped straight up and he's not made any action to go to the ball, it would look worse. It's never a penalty.
19 minutes to play.
Unless, of course, you were Kyle Walker in the first game, because he didn't do much more than that either.
That's very true. That was a harsh one, wasn't it?
No, it was.
Not that it mattered in the grand scheme of things. Fernandez, right-hand side for the Russians, who are in a tricky position here in terms of the game. But they're going to finish second in the group. They'll take that. They don't know who they'll be playing. It's Fernandez down the right-hand side. Who's to say Iran won't shock Portugal? They gave Spain a very tough match in the last round of group games, and of course beat Morocco. It's not done and dusted by any means. Now,
I'm not a gambling man, Gary, but if you want to take any bets on that one, I'll be more than happy.
I probably won't, to be fair. Christian Rodriguez is coming on here for Uruguay, and he'll be replacing Naitan Nandez. So that's a straight swap, one wide man for another. Christian Rodriguez, who plays in Uruguay actually for Penarol. It's another one, over 100 caps. This is cap number 108. They've got 5 players in the squad, well 6 now, Muslera's got to 100, who have over a century of caps. And he comes on to replace Nandez. So that's 2 changes made by Uruguay in the match. Ball goes straight to Rodriguez down the left, further out to Laxelt, and back in turn to Godin.
He's no pressing powerhouse, isn't he? Come on there. It's really squat.
No pressing from Russia, of course, as Uruguay pass it around the defence. Eventually it's just nudged back to the goalkeeper Muslera. Left-footed clearance. Oh, it's a poor one, and it's been picked up by Russia by Zobnin, and this is a chance for Juba, and he shoots left-footed and gets it horribly wrong. Well, Muslera's only got himself to blame there. That was a horrible clearance from the goalkeeper.
There comes a time he's gone through now, and he pushes the Zuba, and he can go and hit the target, and he makes a real hash of it. Doesn't wrap his foot round it at all. Never looked like scoring, actually. Once he coming on his left foot, never looked like scoring. But the goalkeeper, for as much as they want to keep playing, at some stage, you know, that's a bad pass to me. Just launch it up the pitch, get it up the pitch, and give out to your defender for giving you that pass.
Yep.
You know.
So he hasn't had many chances, Juba. That's certainly a sight of goal. Had that been on his right foot, as it was in the last game against Egypt, I'd have fancied him to...
He should have took it on the outside, right footed, just take it and have a shot, get it on target.
Yeah.
But the goalkeeper playing like that, you know, sometimes I think, oh, I don't want to launch it up the pitch, it looks stupid. Stupid is in the back of your net when you give it away.
Wax out down the left, taken on by Suarez, who played it really without looking, and Rodriguez didn't have much chance there of getting on the ball, and it goes behind for a goal kick. It's not happening in the final third at all for Uruguay. Not that Tabarev, the coach, looking on. He's come out with his crutch. He's standing on the edge of his technical area looking on. I don't think he's too concerned, to be perfectly honest. He knows they're going to win this game and finish top of the group with maximum points. You can't ask for much more than that. They haven't been spectacular. 1-0 against Saudi Arabia, 1-0 against Egypt, 2-0 against Russia. If you win every game like that, you win the World Cup. Simple as that.
Yeah, you don't have to be spectacular, you have to win the games. And they were much better in the first half, of course they were. I mean, you know, the goals, they said about the free kick, they said about Ignashevich moving it and opening him completely for Suarez to score, and then a wicked deflection. I mean, if you know, I think Harry Kane's was a lucky deflection, then I think this one puts it pales in its shadow.
Suarez very deep, gets it out to the right hand side of Martin Cáceres. He plays it inside. Vecino to Cáceres again, deflected cross. The deflection makes it easier for Zobnin to get it away. And Russia have it just short of halfway with Smolov. Very spectacular dive from Smolov there, and from Zuba. One of those was a foul, I'm not sure which one, to be honest. Coates, I think, was penalised for the initial push.
Yeah, I thought they both were, actually. That certainly is.
The manner of Smolov's tumble didn't do him any favours, but anyway, a free kick has been given, and we have 14 minutes left here on TalkSport. Uruguay 2, Russia 0 in Group A. The group set to be decided. It'll be Uruguay top on 9 points, Russia second on 6, and they will be facing the top two teams in Group B.
Just look at that clearance there of Godin. There's a wily old defender. He just comes across, puts it into the stand, doesn't try anything else. 2-0, keep it at 2-0.
Free kick to Uruguay in a defensive position because of a foul by Kazayev. And it'll be taken by the goalkeeper Akinfeev away to our right-hand side. There's also a slight concern over possible calf injury here for Torreira, just nursing his right calf. Certainly you would have thought there would be no point in taking any risks with any player when you've got one sub still to play in these conditions.
If it's a kick, it's not so bad, but he's felt a strain on it, or it's starting to tighten up, you know, he's got to come off.
Challenged by Kazayev on Torreira. He's hobbled back up to his feet now, and
he does a great job, you know, sat in front there.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
I'm saying, even you can see he's nowhere near the size of Zuba, but he just stands in front of him. He's a pest, stops him moving, and between himself and the centre back, they win the ball. And he's a tidy little footballer, keeps hold of the ball, keeps momentum going.
I said earlier, his dad will be reporting on this match for radio. I'm sure he'll give him his verdict on his performance later. We all know broadcasters and journalists know better. Never afraid to give our opinions. 12 to play, and Uruguay cruising towards the top of the group here.
That's what you paid for, Gary. Yeah. Not that we in football always like it, but that's what you paid for.
It's Uruguay in possession on the halfway line, and played forward down the right-hand side. Cáceres whips in a beauty of a cross, that one. just misses Suarez on the near side, and it can't be kept in by Rodriguez down the left.
That's a great ball. I think Rodriguez should be attacking the far post. He should be coming in here. He scores. He gets a goal if he gets up the inside of the fullback of Fernandez. He stood out wide, get in the box, get inside that 6-yard box and score a goal. It was a brilliant cross.
Well, we haven't had too many of those, have we, in the course of the game? So Uruguay again down the left with De Arrascaeta. Has to settle for a throw-in as he tried to backheel it down the line for Edinson Cavani. It came off Semedo. And Laxalt will take the throw. It's 20 yards back from the corner flag. Gets it back from Luis Suarez. Not allowed to cross it on his left foot because of the attentions of Fernandez, who hooks it away.
He just wants to he's trying to get to the byline then and get a corner kick. He wants to kick it against him and get a corner.
Fernandez was having none of that. It's cleared down the line and it's a Russia throw. And again, it'll be Fernandez himself to take it. Hurls it over the halfway line. Comes off Laxalt for another throw-in. Like rugby union here, they're just gaining territory down the flank. Fernandez, who rolls it right-footed into the midfield position. And the Russians will keep hold of the ball with Kutepov on halfway. Oh, a dreadful ball by Kutepov. He's played it square blind to Cavani. He's found Suarez. Suarez to Cavani again. Oh, that was the idea. He's played it in front of the PSG man. And still he can't get his goal. He's played it back.
Well, I was asking if they get on. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe they do, but with the ball he gave him, maybe they don't. Because
that was an extraordinary giveaway.
Certain he's going to score. Shoot with your left foot here. Take the chance. I don't think Cavani expected that coming back to him.
No.
No way. No how.
Cavani's thinking I wouldn't have crossed.
No.
Well, an extraordinary giveaway by Kutepov. I mean, a centre-back playing a square ball blind on the halfway line. Coach's nightmare. And they really should have wrapped up the game there, Uruguay.
Yeah, they should have finished. He should have. Suarez should have shot.
Yeah.
He should have had a shot at goal. You know, if he puts it across the keeper, Cavani might have got the tap in. Cavani never expected it being passed back to him.
We're in the last 10 minutes. Smolov heads for the byline, and it's Godin yet again, who just steps across and ensures that there's no cross and no shot. And all there is a goal kick, which his goalkeeper Muslera will take. I wonder if he might have got the final touch there as he tried to usher it behind. That's certainly what they might be looking at here.
I don't think so.
No,
yeah.
He missed it. Yeah, goal kick.
I tell you, it was great when he went. He thought he was going to go up the outside and he tried to come on the inside, and he still blocked the ball and blocked it onto the attacker.
One thing's for sure, Uruguay are not going to give away many goals in this tournament. They've got a great goalkeeper. They've got a wonderful centre-back pairing.
Well, even less if they stick these three defenders in the middle, because it means you've got three defenders in the middle, three down the three midfield players in the middle. There's the block of six. You've got to go wide, and I think they don't mind them going wide because they can deal with them. They get crossing, and most teams actually want to come and spear you down the middle anyway.
Rodriguez shoots left-footed from 30 yards, spilled by Akinfeev. Cavani can't pick up the scraps, and it's swept behind for a corner. So a good strike by Rodriguez, although it's straight at Akinfeev, who can only palm it, and the result is a corner. And it's only the second corner of the game for Uruguay.
Safety first, wasn't it, for the goalkeeper, for Akinfeev, because if he tries anything else there, it's it could go right through his hands. You know, just get your hands together, stop it. You think he should catch it.
Well, the fullback Kudryashov is down inside the penalty area, which is preventing Uruguay from taking their corner. And getting a look on our monitors at what happened. He played the shot in, Rodriguez, and then there was a coming together with Suarez on the far post. And Suarez got up, Kudryashov didn't. And it's the left ankle that's the problem. But he's back on his feet now. And hopefully for his sake, okay to continue. With 7 minutes to play. It's Uruguay 2, Russia 0. You're listening to Talk Sport at the FIFA World Cup. Second corner for the South Americans. from the left-hand side. It'll be taken by Georgian de Alascaeta. Right-footed in-swinging ball into a great area, and it was attacked by Cáceres, and you wonder how he didn't score.
He's thrown his head at it. Just lock your neck muscle. He turns his head, and it's the classic. You jump, just put your head on it. The pace of the ball will take it back. He's tried to generate power, and of course by the time you've moved your head, it's gone past you. How often do you see that?
Well, they've won it back very quickly in midfield, Uruguay, and Cavani has played it inside, but it's far too casual, and mopped back to Akinfeev. They've wasted some chances on the break here, Uruguay. Godin steps in to intercept that pass forward from Russia and lays it off to the right. We've got 6 minutes to play, that's all. And Uruguay cruising towards top spot in Group A. They would just love a third goal to wrap it up. As Vecino finds de Alascaeta on for Cáceres down the right, but he's overhit it and it's out for a throw.
It's amazing when the tempo goes out of the game, you get sloppy. It's just not the same.
It was very sloppy. Here's Zuba, and he tries to run forward down the left. He goes to ground, but there's no foul. Referee says play on because Russia still have the ball, and Smolov might take it on here. Gets the dead ball line, and Zuba was waiting for a tap in, but Muslera dived on the ball and intercepted his cross.
Muslera's done really well here, and he's tried to get a foul and he's come out of his way there, Zuba. When Smolov gets in here, he's read it brilliantly, the goalkeeper. There's somebody coming in to get it. I think it's Zuba. It's one of them, you know, if he's come out and caught the cross, and he maybe could have done him at the near post.
Yes.
He tried to read it, well, he did it, he read it really well.
Lax out down the left for Uruguay, crosses in, not a bad ball at all. It's Ignashevich who gets it away. But they've got a chance here with Cavani, right-hand side, back on his left foot, still on his left, and then it's deflected over, and he punches the air with sheer frustration because the goal just won't come for him.
It's just not happened, has it? Desperately get a goal, not happening.
I think Ignashevich just gets the block in here. Yes, he does.
It was a great block, wasn't it?
And it means that Uruguay have a third corner.
It was great feet there when he's just chinked past them and set himself up for a shot. I think it was going in the bottom corner as well.
Well, yet again, there's shoving from the corner before it's taken, so the referee has to blow the whistle and issue a couple of tickings off. And there's also an injury problem for Kudryashov, who went down earlier. And I think he was grappling with Cavani, so finally the referee blows the whistle, and de Alascaeta can take the in-swinging corner kick. Oh, well, the goalkeeper was backpedaling. He's palmed it away as far as Luis Suarez, right-hand side of the area. He's tried to lay it off for Rodriguez. Poor layoff though, and Russia get it away.
The keeper's done well. That's dropping in the far post. Has he done well? I was in a bad position to start with, I'm not sure. But he made sure it didn't go in his net.
It certainly wasn't de Alascaeta's aim to score direct from the corner. So there's a vicious curl on it.
Yeah, it was an in-swinger though, it might be. Stick it under the crossbar.
Yeah,
put some players underneath it. It's never a bad one if you get the corner kick right.
Certainly Uruguay will feel that they should have taken one of these chances that have come their way in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, the goalkeeper's decided there he's not going to try and pass it out. What have we got? 2 and a bit minutes of normal time. Just get it to the pitch, keep it out of your own net.
Oh, Godin has jumped into the back of Zuba, and this time the free kick does go Russia's way. We're getting another look at that corner kick. It was certainly going to drop in, wasn't it?
It was.
So good bit of goalkeeping from Akinfeev to palm it away. And he's fortunate, really, that Suarez wasn't able to take advantage.
Yeah, I think the keeper, he was coming looking to try and go and get the ball initially. You know, I think it was going to be floated up. And it was going over his head. He's had to shift his feet, and he's done well to keep it out.
Well, Russia get a goal here. Sets up an alarming last few minutes for Uruguay. They've got a free kick. Samedov, right-footed. Well, I don't believe what I'm seeing. For the third time, he has put it straight behind by overhitting it by a good 40 or 50%.
That is incredible. I thought, well, look at him, get hold of him as well. I thought we may well just get there. Torreira again in amongst them. He's just standing on his toes and being a pest. But an absolute dreadful free kick. We've said, already mentioned that he's a specialist, and in the games before he's put him on right on the button. Not tonight. I think it's his free kick's probably some of the night for him.
Yeah, he got a flea in his ear from several teammates there. I mean, once shouldn't happen, twice is unforgivable, 3 times you're going to get a volley of abuse.
You get taken off him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a foul by Zuba. He's just clipped the back of Godin. Great battle that's been between those two over the course of the game.
What's Godin here? Watch. He's barely touched. He is so cute. It's untrue. He just feels his hand in his back and he goes over. The other fella, Zuba, wants to stand and fight. Yeah. He's wanted to show how strong he is. He's not cute enough.
All you have to do is just slightly check the run and wait for the contact. Yeah. And you know you're right in front of the referee's assistant. He's going to give it every time.
Godin's been brilliant, he's a great defender, but he's cute as well with it.
Rodriguez, edge of the area, shoots! Oh, great angled shot. Super save from Akinfeev to touch it over the crossbar.
Wonderful save, wasn't it? You can see he's already given him a warning. Some power as well. And that's going right across him. That's a great save.
He really hit that so sweetly. There's hardly any rotation on the air in the ball.
Oh, no, that's a great strike.
Very good save.
There'll be some question keeper going with his wrong hand. He kept it out of the net.
Godin's header, great save, and in by Cavani. They've got the 3rd goal from the resulting corner. Akinfeev will fume, having made the save to deny Rodriguez, but there was no arguing the second time. Edinson Cavani with a smile to light up the Samara Arena. He's got his goal at last. It's Uruguay 3, Russia 0.
Akinfeev doesn't deserve that, does he? He makes a great save, and he's being punished. They're just not defended. And he makes a good save from the initial header as well.
There's no stopping the second one. It's a good corner.
It's Godin as well.
Godin's initial header, palmed out by Akinfeev. He got great power on that, Godin, and then basically Suarez and Cavani both went for it, both looking to bag a goal right in front of the 6-yard area, and Cavani got there first to sweep it in.
Magnificent header, the first one, and I have to say it's a terrific save. But you know, you're looking at Cavani, all the caps he's got, all the goals he's got, he's on the front foot, he's following it in Harry Kane-ish, and that's a compliment, by the way. And he gets his goal. Fantastic.
El Matador off the mark at this World Cup. His 43rd international goal. Got 10 in qualifying, more than anyone else in the South American qualifiers. And he certainly deserved that.
You get the goals from being on the move in the penalty area, not letting defenders pick you up. And it's actually the second one. It's not the first one. You see it. Headers come in, the keeper saved it, and he gets on the second one. Brilliant.
So we're into 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the game. Uruguay will top Group A with 3 wins from 3. Getting better, aren't they? 1-0, 1-0, and now 3-0. Still yet to concede. Russia down the left with Smolov dispossessed by Cavani.
Oh, that might tell you why they're hard to play against. Cavani's just scored his goal, they're 3-0 up, and he's in the right back position tackling. That's brilliant.
Superb. Now Uruguay still keep the ball with De Arrascaeta. Now Cavani's on the right wing. They're quite happy just to keep it now. He knocks it back to Coates, and they know the job is well and truly done. They've known for quite some time, really. And it's been an accomplished display from Uruguay, and they'll be a team to watch for sure in this tournament. They won't be easily beaten. I think there's going to be a change here in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. It'll be Maxi Gomez of Celta Vigo to replace Uruguay's 3rd goal scorer, Edinson Cavani.
Look at him on the move there, running forward. The two of them, Suarez and Cavani. And Cavani beats into it.
Gomez, who's often referred to in the Uruguayan press as being the new Suarez.
Wow, praise indeed.
he comes on, although he's not going to get much of a chance to show. He's only 21. He was very close to moving to China in December. Would have multiplied his wages by 10 if that had gone through. There was a work permit issue, so he stayed at Celta Vigo. There's a free kick here to Russia in the last minute of stoppage time.
He says 21.
Yeah.
He wants to be playing his football where he is at the moment.
In a
keep
competitive
learning,
league,
and
yeah.
you can, you know, he's going to get his riches anyway. And moving for that kind of money, playing the league he's in, learn his trade. He can do that when he's older.
Yeah, there was a row over the fee in the end with Celta Vigo. They ended up